Y'all, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, am I coming through clear?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm not wearing my headphones tonight. I can't do it. I can't do it. I gotta put me first, Lucius.
You're so ridiculous.
Put me first. Cause it's like, already having like locks or whatever, and then laying down with locks and some headphones. It's like this is extra.
First of all, I didn't know you had locks.
Yeah, but no.
This is fucking news.
I,
What the heck?
I actually want to go back to a shortcut. I think that's gonna be what I'm gonna do next. That was supposed to be like my little surprise. I was gonna pop out on Instagram with it, but I think like I don't know. I might do like one final like twist, and then I'm gonna like literally cut and go back to my shortcut. It's not like bald, but it's like when I cut my hair short, it's like Holly Berry, like '90s Holly Berry shortcut.
Okay.
Yeah,
Wait, so
because
you
I
don't
have
like the locks?
Not really. I mean, I like it because it's convenient. Like, I don't really have to do too much. I mean, of course, you got to keep maintenance, but like, I really don't
Mm.
have to do too much. And you can add hair to it. Like, locks really can be versatile. Like, some people really can take their locks out and wear their natural hair out. Like, it's a lot you could do, but it's just, I don't know. I want to go back to the older I'm getting, it's certain things I want to go back to. I don't know.
Mm. Girl, this whole time I swear you had braids. I'm really bugging.
It's okay. It is okay. They finna be gone in a couple months. No, probably about like December. I'm gonna cut my hair off again.
Well, make sure you post some Holly Berry photos because that probably would be real cute.
Yeah, I like to wait until my face slims down because I
Hmm.
cut my hair often. Like maybe every couple years I'll cut my hair. Um, but yeah, I'm ready to cut my hair again. I'm ready for a shortcut.
Yeah.
Shortcut me, please.
Let me see. Where is Milan at?
Hey y'all. I know we giving everybody time to come into the condo. Retweet it out. Let everybody know where we at. We're just waiting for um Milan come in. A couple more folks come in. I hope y'all got y'all criteria together.
You know,
And don't come
one
up
that
here
I
with
did.
huh?
No, I was saying one that I actually struggled with a little bit was the visuals because I didn't realize how much I don't really watch videos anymore.
Mm. See, this is why this is gonna be a good activity because we're gonna see who really tapped in and who not.
Yeah, I'm definitely not tapped into no visuals.
I'm still struggling with producer. I'm not even gonna hold you.
What?
I'm still struggling with producer.
Oh my god.
Honestly, I'm making up my shit as I go, and I can throw out anybody I want. Can't nobody
That's
tell me
literally
no.
what I did. I put together a list and it's like five producers. Like, oh, we ain't doing one, y'all. I'm sorry. I can't.
And I'm letting y'all know right now, y'all come up here and say Quincy Jones, Smokey Robinson, Stevie Wonder, y'all say any nigga that was born before the civil rights movement. I promise you. I promise you I'm kicking you off.
You're right to the gulag. Fuck out of here.
Don't come up here talking about some goddamn Duke Ellington. Like, sit your ass down. Like, don't worry with that shit. I mean, much
Uh,
love the Duke, but I'm just saying, this ain't the time for that.
right.
This ain't the time, Duke.
I wonder if she's still dealing with the show. Because remember she said today is show day.
Yeah.
Hold on, not to mute.
Where Jazz at? Why Jazz as a listener?
I sent her an invite.
Oh. I love when people text me things. She a fan. Why Jazz? Y'all know that video of Michael Jackson where he clapping and ain't nobody clapping loud enough, so Michael start clapping louder. Why Jazz just sent that to the group chat? Because we were talking about our numbers. We're really proud of ourselves, guys. Our Twitter page is almost at 300 followers. Our Instagram page is almost at 100 followers. Um, and we know that may not sound like a lot, but just imagine a room full of 300 people or a room full of 100 people. That's a lot of damn people. So, we're just big.
Honestly, if we had 50, I would still be proud because
No, facts.
we're
50 is
still
a lot of
trying to,
niggas.
yeah, we're trying to build that page up. So the fact that people are following us there and fucking with what we trying to do is really dope. We appreciate y'all.
No, for real, we really do. So we were just, saying how happy we are that we really are building a community with y'all. So that video took me out because that's Michael Jackson really funny, yo. Like, why you clapping so loud? Damn.
Hey, Jazz.
Hey, Jazz.
Hey, my love. Sorry, I don't know what was going on. I couldn't hear, but I'm here.
It's Elon. It's really Elon.
It
While we
has
wait
to
for
be.
Milan, Jazz is our lovely producer, guys. So make sure y'all follow her. Once this becomes an actual podcast, she will be producing that for us.
Oh my God. Hi, everybody. Always honored and happy to be here. And yes, man, my meme of the week is that Michael Jackson clapping. I cannot stop using that shit.
Oh my god, that is the funniest video, yo. Because he really turned around and said, clap. Like, what?
Happy Sunday. What everybody was listening to today. What was y'all Sunday vibes and feels?
Honestly, I watched the Zodiac documentary on Netflix.
Ooh, I need to tap into that. I need to see that. I didn't know that was a thing.
Yeah,
I
I'm
was trying
trying.
to prepare for this and I listened to Jalen Josie last EP. Honestly, she's not my artist for today,
Ooh.
but
Mm.
she was definitely a runner up. I'll give you that.
Sorry, guys. It's a lot going on. I have a dog, so I'm like always. Wait, what? What is going on? Wait, can y'all hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, okay, good,
Yeah.
good, good. Okay, because I'm high, so I'm doing things on Twitter, and I'm not quite sure if I know what I'm doing. I just need to be stopped.
Somebody in the audience says their Sunday vibe is Elmine. Elmine was actually another artist I was gonna do for today for the vocals, but I also passed on him. Because one of the homies that want to come up
I
here was
love
thinking,
that.
I'm gonna do Elmine. Like, all right, well, you can have him then.
I love that. I don't know why. I've been in my early 2010s, late 2000s R&B bag. Heavy on the Miguel recently. I don't know why. Um, and don't judge me, y'all. I don't know if it's because I'm an auntie. I don't know what it is. But I recently listened to Mariah the Scientist. Oh, baby girl had me in tears. I was like, okay, I get it. I get some of it. But yeah, I tapped into Mariah the Scientist a little bit more over the weekend. That was fun.
Mariah's a great writer. I'll give her that. The girl can write.
Yeah, I watched a couple videos. Like I never was um super tapped into just her overall artistry. Nothing against her. I was like maybe I don't know, it's a gap in the generations, but I will say it was very helpful to hear another perspective in R&B. Um but yeah, I appreciate it. I think she does take some time to be intentional. I watched a couple of videos. So that was nice. Ooh, shout out to Miss Vela here. Ooh, I had the honor of meeting her recently in New York. Hi, superstar.
I wonder if Zaya will come up. I need to. I had Zaya on my for aesthetics. I had put her there for aesthetics. Because I feel like, well, at first I was gonna do a female artist, so I had Zaya there for aesthetics, but then I switched to I completely changed up mine to a guy. So yeah, but I love everything Zaya's doing. Shout out to Zaya, that's my girl.
No, for
Uh,
real. Zaya really one of them ones.
right. If y'all have not yet listened to her new single Lion, definitely make sure y'all check that out. It's available on all streaming platforms. She performed it live on the radar. The mic was on, by the way. We definitely have to give her them kudos for that because a lot of these singers be doing the auto-tune thing and she is not one of them.
Listen, listen. Not only do the mic be on, but the face be on. Like
Okay,
I recently
period.
met the lovely, and I know I just kept staring. I was like, "Yo, what is it? The Fenty? The Fenty is giving. I don't know. Like, but oh my god, what a face! What a beauty!" In the spirit of Sunday, anybody got plans for dinner? While we continue to cook up this episode, y'all see that? See how we did that? Producing.
First of all, thank y'all so much for all the love constantly. It was so lovely meeting you in person. And Jan, you know you my girl, so I appreciate y'all.
First of all, we honored to have you up here, not a star on the star stage. I'm so sorry, guys,
So,
for the hold up. We're waiting for Milan, who is our third co-host, to join. We don't want to do this without her.
So I guess I'll just talk about. Is anybody excited for Tyler tomorrow? Is anybody excited about Tyler the Creator tomorrow? It's tomorrow, right?
It's the full album, correct?
I think so. I think so.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I'm
Yeah.
really excited to see if Tyler has the same impact on the industry that Beyonce did when she essentially kind of restructured the timing of releases. Especially like right now where we're kind of just in this void where nothing really fucking matters as far as like rules go. Like obviously there's certain fundamental things you can't just not do as an artist. Like you have to promote your stuff. You have to make sure it's on all DSPs. You do kind of have to have programming support to kind of get in front of an audience. Like certain things obviously you have to do. But as far as like how you roll it out, there's not really rules anymore, in my opinion. And I feel like even with that understanding, there's still a lot of artists across independent and major label releases where they're sticking to this everything has to come out Friday at midnight. And it's just like, I don't really think we have to do that anymore. And I wonder if this Tyler album is successful, if it inspires a lot of other artists and labels alike to essentially just move however they want to move rather than just kind of going off of this fake rule that everything has to come out on Friday.
Yeah, I'm so happy you mentioned that, sis, because when you think about it, it's like the timing is now because that was almost 10 years ago. Or 10 years ago, I think, when that happened.
Exactly.
Like that was what she dropped that with 2013. And yeah, it's been 10 years. It's definitely time for a paradigm shift again. I agree.
And I
I
think
feel like,
too, oh, go ahead, my bad.
hey girl, um,
Hey.
I feel like a cultural impact is needed. I was just asking somebody about what if we went back to Tuesdays? Like, what if we really went back to just thinking about just how not even the chart works, but really about just how the people really digest music. Like somebody said something about the weekend, like really comes and goes sometimes. And I'm like, start on a Monday, it really stays with you throughout like the whole week. So I'm really curious to see what happens when I wake up at 6 and I see that album. And hey y'all, and hey Zaya, hey girl.
Hey, hey. Yeah, I'm really curious to see how it shifts. I know for me personally, with Lion, I actually dropped that on a Wednesday, and I enjoyed it personally because it did allow me to space out content and supporting content for the rollout versus like, I think when people do the Fridays, you get everything on the Friday. So it's like they're trying to post all the playlists, you're trying to post that it's out. It's just like a kind of overload. So it did allow me to build my release. And even to Tyler's point, like expose it to people that have more space to actually digest the music during the week because we're outside on the weekend. That's what we're talking about. That's what, even as artists, we're hoping people are doing is listening to our music outside. But most of the music that I'm getting in my rotation to play for my weekend vibes, Tyler is 100% correct that I'm listening to that music during the week.
I would say too to that point, a lot of music, when you think of outside music, there's certain, I think, elements that make a song work outside. And one of those is it being upbeat or up tempo rather. And a lot of the music that we're getting across hip hop and R&B, more so R&B I'm speaking to, isn't up tempo anyway. So it's like you guys are gearing up your entire release for outside consumption, and this stuff doesn't even necessarily work outside. So it shouldn't be your sole
Facts.
focus.
Exactly. There's not a lot of events all the time that's going to be curated for R&B. There's, a few DJs that show love and events that show love, but a lot of times that, the artists that are being consumed on the way to work and while somebody's doing their makeup before they go out and then hear that up-tempo music. So, I really do hope that it shifts. I hope more so even worrying about a specific date like Monday, Tuesday, or Wednesday. Artists are more strategical about when they release based on either supporting content or what might work to even just best support that release in a whole. Like maybe one release it does work for a Friday because you got something that will really help elevate that release. But if you know that you got some content that you want to seed out over the week, maybe drop it on a Monday. Like I would hope that artists just stop being so cookie cutter because like it was said earlier, like we could really do what we want. So I wish people would more so strategize their release based on the music itself rather than just having basic release days.
I completely agree. And I think even further, considering that the industry is shifting more towards independence, and you see a lot of these major label artists now transitioning out to independence, including some of these legacy acts who have huge audiences already. I think considering that you should be doing like a real deep dive into what your listenership looks like and the demographics and the best times that they're listening or the times that they're engaged with you online. And I think that's when you should be focusing your rollouts. And then obviously, like if there's things where it maybe like it's a love song, then yeah, maybe if Valentine's Day falls on a Friday, you want to drop it on Thursday or Friday, not Monday. But um I do think again with this whole shift to independence, you it should be with the understanding that audiences are a lot more niche. So your releases, in my opinion, should be more aligned with how your audiences engage with you rather than what the industry says is the best date for release. Because the other part of it too, from the programming perspective, we the programmers are listening to everything on Friday, Thursday, and Friday anyway. So whether you drop it Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, we listening to it on Thursday and Friday. So regardless of when you drop it, that's when we're gonna program it. But your audience, that's who you need to be locked in so that they're sharing it and getting it in front of all their friends and family or whoever they're sharing it with. And if you're sharing your music on days where your audience doesn't necessarily engage with you, they're probably gonna miss it. Especially if you're not promoting, which I'm seeing this thing where artists think it's corny to promote all the time. So, say all that to say, definitely do a deep dive into your fans and how they engage. And I think that should be what influences y'all rollouts going forward rather than everything dropping on a Friday.
From a programming perspective, do you think that if say like an artist drops on a Wednesday and like you said their consumer base is able to listen to this song and tweet about it and this and that, you're listening to a lot of music as a programmer on Thursday and Friday, and so everybody's gunning for that opportunity to be placed on something, right? Do you think that the consumer impact has an impact on you as a programmer too, to even be like, maybe let me actually listen to, like, who is that I keep seeing people tweet about or repost or et cetera, and that influences the way we even see programmers consume music? Because I think that artists a lot of times think that promoting music is corny, but then don't take into account like how these journalists and programmers can discover them. So do you think that's something that impacts you as well?
Oh, 100%, right? Because to your point, we're listening to so much music on a daily basis, weekly basis, monthly basis. Like, obviously, for those of us who are a little bit more tapped into what's happening on the underground scene, there's not too much that we're missing that's buzzing. Um, but as far as like, there's always going to be something you miss. And I feel like if something is doing its rounds on socials because fans are uplifting it, it kind of forces you to put your eyes on it because it's like, as a programmer, you should be tapped in. So if you're not seeing what a bunch of fans are talking about, then what are you in the position for, in my opinion? Um, so I feel like it's so important that you have your fans talking about you because even with like journalists, I feel like, and it's no shade to you because I think you're amazing. I just talked about that, but I feel like if that Rihanna tweet doesn't go viral, I feel like there's a lot of people who still will try to act like they don't see the release or just don't see it. And I think the fact that you posted about the whole Rihanna thing, it played out the way it played out. A bunch of people were talking about it. It kind of got it in front of a lot of journalists, a bunch of programmers, and it's like you can't ignore stuff like that because if you do, it's like, well, what the fuck are you doing? It kind of makes you look like you're not doing your job, frankly.
That part.
So yeah, I say that to say, as from a program perspective, I do think I would say I would go even further. When you guys are getting certain looks, like article or write ups rather, and um, even like let's say if some kind of platform were to post you on their Twitter as a release to watch or on their Instagram as a new release that came out, any little feature is literally content for y'all. And programmers, as well as journalists and media personalities and all the different forms of media, we're all looking at the way that artists engage because it is a mutually beneficial relationship where we do appreciate y'all showing your appreciation for the support we give because it's like, hey, we're showing you love, so like, thank you for showing love back. And I think a lot of programmers, journalists, media people that I like, we're all like we're more likely to engage with artists who aren't too cool to engage back. Like for me personally, like a lot of the artists I engage with a lot are like friends now because we've engaged so much since I started working in programming and prior to that when I was doing shit in the independent scene. Um, so it literally just helps you to share the stuff that you're doing because it makes you look more personable and people just want to work with friendly personable people like people who are artists who are just too cool to share everything until in my opinion until you get to a space where you're just too big for everything and you're like a Beyonce or even like a Victoria Monet where it's like she drops and we're just gonna give her support because it's Victoria Monet rather than because we love something or don't love something. I just feel like it's just not a good look to not engage with the people who are supporting you. Like it's the whole too cool, mysterious shit. Like it's just corny. Frankly, it was always corny in my opinion, but it's especially corny now.
Agreed.
But guys, we're still waiting for Milan, and I don't want to hold you guys.
No,
We've been in here for
because
30 minutes.
she just hit the group chat. I was talking to her in the group chat. She said, "Do it," and Jazz, you fill in. That's exactly what she said. She said, "Please don't stop," and Jazz fill in. That's exactly what she just said.
I mean, I'm not mad at that. I hate to do a spaces without her,
I
especially this
know,
one.
but
We
she
were
said the
like
show
waiting to
went.
do
She
this.
said the show went late, and me and Jazz was there with her in New York. We know how that shit went. Like niggas ain't gonna leave till 2 hours after the show. Like,
All right, well. Let's get into it then.
Sister, let's wait. Somebody pour out some bottle. Like, if you got some liquor in the crib, please pour out some out for my sister Milan because she missing the spaces. Oh, my spirit. No, this is really fucking with me. Can somebody please make Jazz a co-host so I can, like, it's three of
Yeah,
us.
I literally just invited her to co-host.
Because I can't. Yeah, they can't. They trying to break the family. I feel like Kanye. They trying to break the family apart.
Y'all
So,
funny.
before we even get started, though, if there's any of y'all in the audience, because I know we announced this topic last week, and literally is an invitation for y'all to come up and essentially describe your perfect superstar if you could build one. So definitely feel free to request a mic, and we will invite y'all up ASAP.
Okay, so who gonna be the funny one today? Because Milan not here, so who gonna be funny?
It's probably gonna be you because I don't got
Come
jokes.
on, y'all. I mean, pull out some jokes. Stop.
I'm like, y'all know I can be silly. I can be silly now, but
We could, okay. So we got Jazz on the silliness. Okay. Somebody gotta evoke my sister spirit. Wait, y'all know that video of Yeti when she was outside the prison and she got maced and he was like, "My sister, my sister."
Yes.
That's my move right now, my sister.
yes, never can be replaced, but we can definitely uplift and keep the momentum and the spirit going for sure.
All right, y'all, let's get into this because Milan wouldn't want us like this right now. Not for real, because my sister wouldn't want us like this. So we locked in. Last week we told y'all to come with y'all homework assignments done. Now the ones that was in here last week, you better have came with your homework assignment done. Now for the new ones that just got the homework assignment today, we understand. So we're gonna explain. Wait, Jan, can you explain it? Because I feel like you have a very professional voice and you can make this sound really cool, like professional.
Absolutely. My bad. I was looking for the post so I could share it here. So essentially, we want y'all to essentially build what y'all think, like almost like a build a bear, the perfect superstar as far as like when you consider what a superstar of today is, what different elements from different artists would you pull all together to create a superstar? I think too there's a conversation to be had, like, do we need to redefine what superstar means today? Because I don't feel like if you compare like a superstar, Michael Jackson level superstar to anybody today, there's just not, I don't think we would ever be able to see that again, just considering the time. So I feel like there is a conversation that needs to be had about what a superstar actually is in the streaming era. And considering that, the criteria for your superstar needs to be vocals. So you can choose a rapper or a singer that you want to go with as the basis for your vocals. Personal style or aesthetic. So their socials, their look, everything all together as their aesthetic. Visuals, so that would be, in my opinion, I'm saying images and videos. Visualizers, anything in that regard. Their live performance, penmanship. So penmanship doesn't necessarily have to be an artist. So you don't have to pick an artist writing if you don't want to. But if there's any writers of today that you would want this superstar artist to work with, who are those writers?
Can I give an example?
Uh, yeah, go ahead.
Okay, so I'm gonna give examples of like past people, so it don't interfere with who y'all might be coming up with. So, for instance, it would be like I don't know, Tony Braxton and Babyface. Like Babyface is writing for her, but Tony Braxton is the artist.
And then the last thing is producer. And these producers can be any producers between 2010 and 2014 or 2024. So no, you can't use Babyface or Jermaine Dupri. That doesn't count. um, and then as far as everything else except the producers, they need to have their first debut album have been released between 2014 and 2024. So we do have it
Woo.
pinned to the top, so y'all don't get confused with the dates. The only one that's different is producer. You can have a producer that started back in 2010, but everybody else got to be 2014 to 2024.
Woo. So nobody can use Juicy J, huh? Nobody can use. The only reason why I say
No.
that is
No.
because
Oh wait,
y-
wait. I
y'all
did.
were discussing like superstars, and I love that. I also think it's important to discuss like people who are quote unquote like impactful or influential. Um, like for example, I saw Project Pat and 3 6 Mafia recently, and those are some of my favorite musicians. But when I think about artists like Project Pat and 3 6 Mafia, I think about them more in the space of being so influential versus them being like these mega superstars. And that's not to say that they're not mega superstars, but I don't think like music would sound like what it sounds today if we didn't have people like Project Pat and 3 6 Mafia. Um, but yeah, that's why I mentioned that.
Well, I did say to a friend of mine who's actually in here, hey, coolness. Um, I did say that I don't have an issue personally if you use somebody like a Jermaine Dupri or Brian Michael Cox because they are still out here writing and producing for a lot of artists out here today. So I don't mind an example like that where they still in the field, they still working with younger artists, newer artists, or people that are doing shit right now. But like, don't come on here talking about some Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis. It does that make sense? I don't know. Y'all say
No, that
something.
makes
You
sense.
up here
I
laughing?
agree.
Y'all
I
say
agree.
something.
Man, because I was about to send you the thumbs down. Y'all niggas need to get creative. Fuck out of here. Jermaine Dupri is so obvious, but
So they
whatever.
can't do like a JD or a Brian Michael Cox. They got to do like
No. I feel like there's so many producers now and writers that we should be. I think if we're trying to find the super producers and the mega writers, if that's even a thing of tomorrow, like let's try to find them. There's so many of them.
okay, bet. Okay, so we will allow you to use your Googles for that because some of y'all might need to research maybe a song that you like or something to know your writers and your producers. I know niggas don't read the album book list no more because y'all don't have album book lists because niggas don't buy albums. Um, y'all, please say something. 'Cause
Now we have a hand up though. Ron, what's up?
hey,
What's up,
Ron.
y'all?
Hi,
What's up, y'all?
bestie.
Oh my God, I'm in here with the celebrities. Oh my God. Say
Okay.
no,
You
but
don't
what's
get
up?
out of
I
here.
do have a question. So for this, are we building from an established artist, or we just like having a random person like a sim or something like that? Like, how are we going from there?
You're building.
So
Oh, go ahead.
yeah, I was gonna say so every artist that you can pull from would have to be an artist that released their debut between 2014 and 2024.
Okay. All right. Let me get my notepad out. I'm ready.
All right. So, ladies, what? Okay. So, what do you? How are you guys thinking we should do this? Should we bring up one at a time and have them listed off and why, and then go from there, or should we bring up collectives and have them go one by one? How do you guys want to do this?
That's a
I
great
would
question.
feel
I was
like
gonna ask that.
yeah, if they can go through everything and why, then we can kind of just talk through their why.
Okay. And I'm gonna ask questions like
Yeah.
you are your artist, like what's the name of your debut album? This is American Idol. Smoking.
Wait, so should we go first, kid? You want to go first?
Hey,
I'm crying because I'm walking around Brooklyn looking for a pronto leaf
no, because
right
I
now. I'm
was
dead.
smoking while I was laughing. Take me to the king. Cause what the fuck? All right. John, what you say you want to go first?
And I said, do you think we should go first?
No, because I'm lying my whole way through this.
All right. No, listen, Jason, I know your hand is up. Do you want to go first?
Wait,
Oh,
y'all, you don't have yours together?
wait, 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 wait. Before we even get into it, hold on. We got Milan.
Oh my god, my sister! Milan. Wait, where's my sister?
The master ceremony is here.
No, Elon playing with me because really, where my sister at?
She's on as a speaker.
But I can't hear her.
I
Can
don't
you
hear
hear
her
her?
either. Mm-mm.
It's like she jumping. It's like she'll go up at the top and then she'll jump down. For me, it's doing that. Yeah, because now she back to being a listener. Wait a minute. Let me see if it'll. I hope it's not doing what it did last time when with the requests and stuff. Milan, can you hear us?
All right, bloody
Oh,
hell. Can
she
you
back.
all
There
hear
she
me?
go.
Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Hi,
Yeah.
sister.
Oh my God, I'm not going to lie, y'all. I'm out here in London right now. I really apologize if I don't sound like I have enough service, but I tried to run here just to do this. I literally left stage. Literally left stage, y'all. Literally. Hi, guys.
Hi, sister.
Hey, girl. Hey. So basically, we already outlined the criteria. So we're literally, thank you. So we're literally about to just get right into each of our build a star, and then we'll let the audience come up and share theirs, and then kind of just get into why they picked them.
Jan, do you have all of yours figured out?
I do, but I don't have. I'm not gonna lie, and I'm still struggling with it. I don't have a visuals person. I have a choreographer for visuals, but I
Ooh.
don't have a visual that
Is it
I
the same
can
choreographer?
reference.
We probably got the same choreographer, girl.
Um, so for vocals, I'm gonna build a male superstar.
All right,
Um, R&B, yeah. I'm going with T.A. Thomas as the vocalist.
all right, come through vocals.
He very much gives like Mario, like his vocal, like it's he's very powerful with his voice. So I really like his tone. He's actually a really good writer too, but I would love to see him work with a couple other writers. But as far as vocally, it sound like he been in the church. I'm pretty sure he came up in church. I might be lying, but I'm pretty sure he did. Um, and he's just really, really great as a vocalist. Personal style, I'm going with Fabo. If any of y'all are familiar with him, he is from Florida. He's based in LA. Um, his look to me, which is I picked it specifically for TA because TA kind of reminds me of like the 2000s R&B boys, but modern. But he has like the look. He's dark skin, attractive, like kind of tall. Um, but Fabo has like a 90 2010 urban hot boy kind of look that I think would work really well with TA's sound because it goes together. Um, Live performance, I'm going to say El Mean. And so one thing, like I know we have a lot of conversations about like we want singers to do like these really big, super produced performances and bring that back and so on and so forth. But I think another element of performance that we kind of forget about are the artists who literally can just hop on a mic and captivate a crowd with their voice because they're that good. Um, and from having seen El Mean, I personally feel like he's one of those artists. Like him on a record versus him on a stage is it's the same shit either way. Um, and I feel like for me, that's what I really be looking for in R&B artists is just somebody who could really blow me away vocally live, more or at least the same as their records. So I feel like for that I would pick on me. Um, Penmanship. So I got a couple people for penmanship. I would love to see TA's vocals paired with Leon Thomas, Dixon, Sir, Fabo, and Ombre, or some combination of any of them. Um, One thing, like from a programmer perspective, that I have kind of come across, there's like a collective of them based in LA, and they all kind of, in my opinion, pull from the same creative conscience. Like I think it's Ombre, Fabo, Matt Keen, Destin Conrad, Joyce Rice. Like there's a whole group of them. I would even put Zaya Bell in that category. And it's just a certain tier of penmanship and a certain style. I would even say a certain style that it's I don't know, like it's just so good. Um and I would love to see TA work with some of them because I also think if you go through their catalog, like Fable in particular, he's written for a lot of other artists. Like he can write a hit. He has not put out a hit yet, but if you were to go through his catalog, there's so much in there that I think is hit worthy. Like even he got shit from his first Soquarius that like LNF, for example. If y'all aren't familiar, look up Fabo LNF. Hit. If he had the right money behind that song, that's a hit. Um, and he's just really good with writing hooks. And then like he's real intricate with like I don't it's just dope. He's a really dope writer. And I think a TA with Any of these writers or writing style would be really dope together. And then ooh, I'm like long winded. The last two picks. For the producer, I would pick D Mile or The Dream. But I think The Dream doesn't that's too far back, right?
I would cancel the dream because you said earlier we
Okay,
needed
okay,
to
okay.
challenge people.
So The Dream is out, but I would go with D Mile for sure. I feel like D Mile is in a certain bag right now where he is dominating the R&B space. So if you're an R&B artist and you're not working with or not trying to work with him, you're not moving in the right direction, in my opinion. Um, I also love that he incorporates a lot of live instrumentation in his production. I'm sure that's case by case, but the fact that he is doing it and executing on a high level is outstanding. And I feel like I would love to see a TA work with a producer like that. Um, and then lastly, choreographer. So for the visuals, I don't know who the visual person would be, but for whoever is choreographing the visuals, I would love to see Tiana Taylor work with male artists. And that's my Build a Star.
Shout out to choreography. Jocelyn Hernandez, she coined that phrase, choreography. Love it.
I think my question for your artist would be what label would they sign to or would they be independent?
Ooh, that's a good question.
Mm, um, I think out the gate, I would want them to independently build their own little wave. Um, with I would say I'm trying to think who is a great partner that I think they would work well with. SoundCloud has been really invested in their artists lately, so SoundCloud would be dope to see. There's also like a whole bunch of, I'm sure, creative campaigns that you come up with SoundCloud, considering they're their own brand, which is an a element of the distros that not all the distros have mastered yet. Like not all distros have a brand. Like Empire is Empire, but I don't come to Empire to listen to music, for example. So I think Spotify or SoundCloud would be cool. Or like a STEM only because they have an incredible roster of artists that they have been getting behind. So I just think it would be a good look to pair your work with a STEM. And then I think once they get to a level where, or once TA gets to a level where he has that motion, I would want him with like uh, I would say Top Dog, personally. Because if he's a
I think it's a lot of
superstar,
niggas that's gonna go to Top Dog on
yeah,
it.
if you're a superstar, you gotta go to Top Dog. It just is what it is.
We should have named this Build a Star TDE edition because everybody gonna go to TDE because that's the label I want to go. I like your choices. I like your choices. I'm glad that you made because this is a wide window we gave them 2014 to 2024. So I
hmm
like that you used a lot of artists that maybe weren't in that front half, but are kind of in like that last half.
hmm
Um, so yeah, I think that's dope.
And then I
Do
will
we
say
have
one of our listeners I said she doesn't feel like male R&B needs to be dancing. And I'm kind of there too. Like I love a Chris Brown who could dance. Obviously it adds a different element to the live performance, but I just personally feel like I don't really need all that from a male singer. At a superstar level personally, like I just need you to be able to sing. I guess in today's era too, I'll add that layer because if you compare today's singers to like an Usher, Usher's giving you choreography too. So it's like it's definitely needed to some degree, but I don't like I think in today's era, if we're talking about redefining the superstar, I don't think they need to dance as male artists personally.
No, I agree. I think if you have good visuals and a good aesthetic behind you and the marketing is there and the music of course is always strong, I think you don't need necessarily. Now, I would like to see a little two step, but you ain't got to do like full out, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Exactly. And I think that's why I also picked Tiana as a choreographer because I'm curious to see what she would put together for a males, only because she like her herself as a person has there's like a slight masculinity to her that I would love to see kind of come through in the some kind of like real slight suave dance routine for a guy that wouldn't be doing too much. That makes sense.
I agree. I agree. Ron.
I have a question for your artists. So, for your artists, for their first live performance, like, would you have them on like a late night talk show, or would you have them on like a award show?
You said or an award show?
Yes.
Um, I mean, it depends on what level of their career we talking about. Like, if they're at Victoria Monet status, I would say award show. Um, if they're just growing, I wouldn't even do either of those. I would pick like a very small, intimate venue that kind of gives like jazz club, and then let them build from there. Because I think when we talking about like flat-footed singers, I would like to see them start at that level where they're literally it's just them, a mic, a chair, and a guitar if they play a guitar or any kind of instrument, and that's really it. That's all I'm trying to see.
I like it. I like it. Let's clap it up for y'all. Sorry, I'm high, guys. So if I started tonight, I'm so sorry. Like I promise you, if I see monotone, I'm really fried. But yes, clap it up for my sister. Um, Jazz, do you have your list together? I told y'all I'm stealing off everybody tonight, so y'all already know.
I'm crying. Yes, I have a mini list together. Y'all more than welcome to help build it.
Lord, they got my sister in the AOL and they done moved. Elon, you will pay for your crimes. Cause what just happened? Yeah, what just
Wait,
happened?
I was trying to make Milana a co-host, and then it removed Jazz completely.
Elon gonna pay for his crimes. I
I'm
Wait,
sorry,
can y'all hear
Jazz.
me?
We can
Oh,
hear
you good?
you. Yeah.
I was like, no, I was saying. So the star I'm gonna go with the one and only Lola Brooke. I'm gonna start with Lola. Um, I really love Lola Brooke, and when she first started with her freestyles, I was literally thinking to myself, like, she is really one of the ones to watch. And I really think her bars were so fierce that it honestly was a little intimidating to some people, which is why she didn't really get a lot of the help and mentorship I feel like she deserves. So I'm gonna start there. I think Lola Brooke could really benefit from like a management, not like signed, but like management or distribution with somebody like with Rock Nation, where I feel like they could give her the freedom to kind of stick and own her own sound. As far as producers, I would love to see Lola Brooke with people more so like Honorable C Note and Tay Keith, who could really, really bring out that like that grunge that she has, because like she can really balance that like masculine and femininity that I really really, really love. And I also think too, like we're in a time now where like, photographers matter as well. So I would love to make sure like she has a great photographer, somebody like either like Maisha or Greg Noir, like on the road with her to really like keep her content and to keep her in like great spaces. I feel like she could also really benefit from like Essence article or things like that. Like I just feel like Lola Brooke doesn't really get the shine she deserves, and I would love to see her on the penmanship side because she can write. But I would love to see her even work with somebody like Dave Loaf, who I feel like also doesn't really get the credit she deserves, but they have the sound, they have the influence. Um, and then in terms of like live performance and visuals, I would even love to see her do even more small, intimate spaces. I feel like for Lola to keep building. Like I know they've done like some celebratory shows with her where she's come out and she's like supported like Lil Kim and things like that. But I definitely think putting some full attention towards the niche audience she has with the girls and the wolves and the guys could really be like intimate and really curated in a unique way if she has the right mentorship and the right agency behind her. Because I don't really think Lola should go like the label route. Like I know she signed to like Sony, but I honestly think that kind of like put her in a box because I feel like with her debut, it almost didn't feel like artist development. It just felt like, okay, we got to put something out because we know she's hot right now, but it didn't really feel like Lola, in my opinion. There's like 3 songs on the project, where it's like, okay, this is Lola, but the other ones just kind of feel like fillers. Um, And yeah, I think she would be great with a mentor like Foxy Brown as well. I hope that answers everything, but help me out, y'all.
I love that you even mentioned like content capture because I feel like
Thank you,
photographers,
love.
videographers are the unsung heroes of the industry that don't get the recognition that they deserve. Not only, when we talk about journalists, but the photographers and videographers that also capture those important moments, like a Lenny S. He has, we all know Lenny S is super, super famous for all of the things that he's captured. So shout out to you for even mentioning that. I love that.
Thanks, sisters. But yeah, I think Lola would be a really dope star to just build up, and even on the DJ front, you know what I'm saying? Like to your point, Milan, like I feel like she could even benefit from a great like master of ceremony with her because her sound is so big, but she's so little, like so it's like you got all this dynamite coming from this small person. Imagine if she had like somebody else on stage with her that could really amplify it more.
I love that you brought that point up because I feel like we have the perfect example of that in Milan. Like, of course, Dochi is Dochi. So I don't ever want to take away from her star power, but I do feel like just in seeing Milan and Dochi on a stage together, there's just a different kind of energy that we get from seeing them paired up and kind of feeding off of each other rather than it just being Dochi and whoever is going to headline as the DJ for tonight. Like it just adds a different level of artistry and showmanship to the show in my opinion.
Yeah, I agree because we all know the essence of hip hop started off with the DJ first, if we want to be completely honest there. So that and her being a shining example of embodying that to the fullest, even with her last mates tape and just having me on board, like it really encompassed everything that I believe hip hop is. So I agree.
That's fire. Okay, Milan. I know you just finished the show. Did you have any idea of something or not? Or were you like me?
Absolutely not, y'all. I'm so sorry.
No,
I'm
because
so
I told
sorry. I
everybody I was
don't.
stealing from other people.
I would love to hear if everybody went though. I would love to hear like the audience build the star. We could
Yeah,
skip me for another day, but I would love to hear the audience though.
facts. Because I told y'all I was stealing. Well, I don't know. I guess I'll just work mine out right here. Because everybody else did go. And I don't have an excuse to not have one. Um, so this is just an imaginary person that I'm creating in my head. Um, vocals. See, I was conflicted, right? I was misusing my influence because I didn't know if I wanted to do a rapper or if I wanted to do a singer or if I wanted to do both. So, for the to save everyone my confusion, um, we're gonna do Doja Cat for the vocals, just strictly across the board because we did have an option where you could choose someone for rapping and one for singing. I'm just gonna stick to Doja across the board because I realize that I'm not as much of an R&B girly. Like I know the history and of course like the import. Like I know enough. Like don't get me wrong, but like hip hop is really like my bag. So I'm gonna go Doja Cat for the vocals, folks. Personal style slash aesthetic. Um, I'm gonna do. I always mispronounce her name. Well, I don't like her aesthetic, but I like her style. I'm a little conflicted there. Okay, I'm gonna come back at that one. Y'all know that. For visuals, can I choose a male for a female artist?
Yeah, I don't think that matters.
Perfect. Visuals, we're doing Tyler the Creator all the way. Shout out to Big Tyler. Live performance, Victoria Monet. I think that goes without saying. Y'all already know. Penmanship. hmm, Can I choose Doja to still write her own? No, actually, I'm choosing Doshi to write Doja's shit. Whew. And then for producer, we're gonna go. Producer. See, I like those. Oh, we gonna go Jay Versace. We're gonna do Jay Versace as the producer. Or Kate Renata.
Hey Trinata, that's an interesting one.
Yeah. Cause that he got some shit on that new album. I was like, what? Um, and then, okay, so I gotta go back to personal style and aesthetic. Okay. Personal style and aesthetic. See, the thing is, a lot of these girlies be dressing alike. So that kind of makes things a little complicated. In Doja style, I like it, but it don't fit the artist I want to create. Can I go with somebody who retired?
No.
Why you say it like that? No.
As soon as I said my friend said a producer, somebody was like, "Nope."
Oh yeah, the dream. No, because you talking about the dream. Like that nigga wasn't making songs in 2006. You talking about something by dream. You know you was wrong for that. Yeah, you know you was wrong for saying dream.
I
You
had to
should have
slip
just
that
said
in
Tricky Stewart.
there. I had to slip that in there. I'm sorry.
You might as well say Tricky Stewart. No, for real. Because I definitely would have popped in the dream if we was doing like from like if we was doing 2000 like 2010. Oh yeah, I definitely would have hopped on the dream dig. I don't know. The girlies be all kind of giving the same thing. And you know who aesthetic I do like? Kind of. She's from London. Her name is Ray. I really or she from over there. She from overseas. I like Ray. I like her aesthetic. I like her vibe. I honestly would throw her in there for penmanship too, because she wrote Riverdance, and that alone is one of the greatest songs that was ever written. So yeah, and I like that song. She had I forgot the name of it, but it had I think Shake on it. I think that was with Shake on it. That was the one that went viral. But yeah, I like her aesthetic. So we could use her aesthetic. So that's my hip hop pop star.
So I have a question for you.
Oh no.
Going back to why we kind of created this whole thing, as far as like, do we need to restructure or reinvent what a superstar is defined by? Do you not feel like Doja's already a superstar? And if not, then what do you think is missing to catapult her to that next level?
I do think Doja's a superstar. And that's why I think it was hard for me to choose a vocalist or choose someone that like cuz if let's say like I'll take Doja out the picture cuz Doja is a superstar, then the only other person I'll put in that place is like Samara Sin or Doshi. As far as they can sing or at least do melody, they can rap their asses off like vocally. If it ain't going to be Doja, it would have to be Samara Sin or Doshi. But because I already have Doshi for penmanship, then I would just go with Samara Sin for vocals.
Okay, I think that makes more sense. I
Okay.
like that.
Cause I like Samara Sin. I think she's fucking fire, bro. And I know people keep making this comparison to like her and Doja. It's the same shit niggas was doing when Doja came out and they was like doing the whole Kendrick Nicki thing. But I think her shit is so like unique and different. Like she has like actual like house type music that she's made before. Like she's really like introspective, like on a lot of her songs, especially on her newest project. Um, I think we box artists in too quickly before we really let them define themselves. So I'm excited to see what else she does because I already see the box people are trying to put her in, and I'm like, yeah, I feel like she's one of the ones you can't do that to. So yeah, I'll do Samara Sin for vocals instead. Then
Okay, I think I could take a stab at it real
I was
quick.
about to say, who we got next? Milan.
Okay, so with I'm just looking at the criteria. So vocals, singer, her. Can you hear me?
yeah, we can hear you. Do you
Okay,
think her is not
singer.
a superstar?
I thought we was building a star. We taking from whoever, no?
That's what I thought. That's why I used Doja.
So I think
Yeah,
if we're building a star, the intent is that they're not a star yet. So how do we create a star out of a bunch of different elements that aren't superstars yet? If that makes sense.
well, then her remains.
I
Singing.
like her.
Personal style and aesthetic. Ouchie wow wow. Damn, who the
That one
fuck
is
is
hard, bro.
okay? Damn. See, I'm not gonna lie. Can I say Solange or no?
She came out within the
Solange.
last 10 years, right? Or no?
No, Solange didn't
Okay, no.
come out in the 2000s.
I think Solange is like oh five,
Never
like
mind,
oh
guys.
six,
Goodbye.
oh five, oh
But
six, oh four ish.
I'm trying to freestyle off the dome real quick. I'm trying to think. I'm trying to think. I'm trying to think.
Are you building a R&B singer? Are you building a rapper? Are you building a pop star?
I'm building something. It's something that's being built, but my artists just don't know where they want to go. They don't know if they want to rap. They don't know if they want to sing because they could do
She
both.
got concepts of a
So that's just
queen,
my
y'all.
problem. But you know what? Let the audience come through. I'll go very last. Before we wrap, I'll go last.
I was fucking with the her. I'm fucking with the her though, because I'm imagining the guitar. Now, if you was gonna do her
Yeah, I
with
love
Summer
her.
Yeah.
Walker, we could have glided somewhere with the her with the Summer Walker vibe. We could have.
Okay. So her, no, because her has a good pen herself. I'm not gonna lie.
That's what I'm saying. That's
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
what I'm saying.
Okay. Live performance. Let me just skip that. Live performance. Tiana. Can I say Tiana?
I was gonna say,
Absolutely.
but John said no because if she retired.
These rules.
Wait. I didn't realize she retired because I used Tiana.
Oh yeah, you did, yeah. Because I was gonna use
Yeah,
Tiana.
my bad. Yeah, you could have used
Oh,
her.
Okay.
okay,
Okay,
you
I'm
So
can use
thinking like
Tiana.
you talking about a older artist that's
Nah,
out the
nah, nah. I was
game.
talking about Tiana because I'm
Okay,
going
well,
off of her
yeah.
word.
Yeah, that's who I went with.
She
okay. So I would do vocals, singing. Let's just say singing her. Live performance, Tiana, because I would love to see somebody with a motherfucking guitar, piano, all that shit do what Tiana does on stage as well. Visuals, I'm going to have to go. I'm not gonna lie. Tyler right now got it as far as visuals and just yeah, visuals. Tyler the creator for the visuals. Oh damn, this sound like a fucking crazy ass bitch.
nah. She building
Um,
a baby Prince.
I mean, hello. Hey, hey.
Hey,
Okay. Damn, penmanship. I don't know, cause her pen is really good. Summer Walker pen is really good. I would throw in Leon Thomas.
Leon gonna have the streets tonight. Everybody finna take.
Thanks. I said Leon too.
Leon, because we can't use. Okay, never mind. So Leon for the pen. Damn, producer. Fuck. Who is a newer producer that's just like, damn, I'm going into my hip hop bag because I'm not, you know what? I'm not gonna lie. I feel like this may sound crazy, but Cardo Got Wings do have a different kind of bag, y'all. He
Nah,
don't just be in the hip hop bag sometimes. Like he do got some different vibes. So I do like I know it sounds crazy, like what the fuck, bitch? But
Mm-mm. It sound right.
when you work with people in the studio, it's a different vibe than them sending you beats. Let's just say that. So I think he could bring a different element to infuse hip hop with the R&B. So okay, so we got the vocals, we got the visuals. I said Tyler, right? Performance, Tiana. Producer, Cardo Got Wings. Pen. I'm gonna just stick with her slash Summer slash Leon Thomas. Fuck it. Um, Now visuals. I think that's the hard part for me. Visuals, like I don't know, y'all. I can't think off the top of my head when it comes to visuals. Who got some fire fucking visuals? That's just like besides the obvious, of course, because I want to put somebody else, but
I think Victoria Monet has good visuals. Especially like with this last era. I think
Jaguar.
yeah, with the Jaguar 2 era, I think she definitely been bodying the visuals. Can you use directors? Cause does Dave Free count or do we think Dave? Cause I feel like
I
it's
was gonna mention directors.
Cause I feel like the last half of the decade, like 2014 and onward, we really start to know Dave Free's name, like for real, as far
I
as
think we
visual.
could give him a pass. We could give him a
Yeah.
pass.
So you can always use
Okay.
Free.
All right, whoever be directing the A24 movies, whoever do that person, them people over there, that production crew, they've been doing some fire movies and shit. So yeah,
Facts.
A24 directors and producers or whatever. Yeah, that's my pick.
Now that I'm a little sober, I want to revise my stuff.
I'm crying, but
I'm
I was
crying.
That was a
I was
freestyle.
gonna say.
That just came off the dome. I did not properly think about that. Okay, so
Because
give me
Yon
grace.
has an R&B male sex symbol. Milan has the genre blending like superstar, and I'm like niggas, just people. Okay, because I really have to define what this artist would do and what this artist would be and what I want to see. Because I think that's the part too. What do you want to see in a star? And I have to be honest, I still like my stars that have a certain type of traditional aspect to them. Like, I still like my stars to do big rollouts. And I still like, if they can afford it, because I understand we're also in a different economic time period, especially in the industry. But, like, I like my artists to be large performers. Like, when Victoria went on stage at the BT Awards and it was doing outfit changes and had pieces of the video
Come
on
on.
stage, like, I like shit like that. That shit still gets me excited. So, I can't lie and say that like a lot of these newer artists carry that for me because they don't. And that's not no diss to them. It's just my personal preference that I'm not seeing, but I'm aware that we're in a different time. So I'm not like auntie that's like they need to. No, I'm completely aware. Um so I think that also makes it a little hard for me cuz even when I think about my idea of a superstar, I do still think back to older eras. Like I do still think back to my childhood because to me that's a superstar. Like a lot of what I'm pulling from feels like viral stars and not a superstar. Um
Yeah.
so I think if I'm gonna revise it with a bit of a half sober mind, because half of my mind is still high. Vocally, I am still going to stick with Samara Sin. If you really don't know about Samara Sin, please check her out. She's been going viral on like Twitter and TikTok and stuff, but she's super fire. I'm still going to stick to her as my vocalist. Well, I'm going to stick to her as my vocalist when it comes to rapping. But when it comes to singing, I'm going to take Chloe's voice, like Little Mermaid.
Mm.
I'm gonna take her
I
voice.
think Chloe has so many elements of a superstar already. It's just there's like little pieces here and there that are missing, and I think that's why it's not clicking.
So I'm gonna take her voice, but I'm gonna take Samara Sin rapping. Put that in a little bubble. And then after that, we have who is this posted big booty bitches on my timeline? What is that? Okay. Um, personal style and aesthetic. See, this is the hard part because, like I said, everybody aesthetic is like so like. It's like what is an aesthetic? Like what is an aesthetic to y'all now? I'm gonna come back to that one. I'm gonna come back to that one.
You know
Visual.
what's funny? That's literally why I didn't want to do a R&B woman because I it was so hard to figure out an aesthetic for a woman because they kind of all look the same. It's very few that have their own look, in my opinion.
Look the same. Everybody wear the same stuff. Everybody got the same Birkin bags. I'm tired, child. I don't know what to do. So I'm gonna come back to that one. Visuals, I'm definitely still sticking with Tyler the Creator. We can find a way to feminize Tyler the Creator visuals, but his visuals are absolutely fire. If I had to choose a director, now for the director part, do it have to still be within the 2014 to 2024 window or hello?
Wait, what did you ask? Ask again? My bad.
Oh, does it still for the director? Does it still have to be in the 2014 to 2024 window, or can it be like any?
I guess we can extend that to 2010 with the producers.
What we extending it to?
2010. I won't be a stickler.
Damn, I'm saying that, but I know who I'm gonna go with. I'm gonna just go with Dave Free for directing my for directing my visuals. Cause we still didn't extend it far back enough, so I'm gonna still just do Dave Free for my visuals.
Okay, who are you gonna say if we did extend it to whenever?
Spike Jones.
Can we extend
Mm.
it to whenever? Cause my art is gonna be bubbling under the charts. Cause I can. I don't know.
Bubble is under the chart. Right.
We can't extend everything though. It only can be the director and the producer.
Okay, so if we just extend in the director, or in just my visual aesthetic is going to be Tyler the Creator. Directors are going to be a mixture of Dave Free and Spike Jones because I do like that, like almost like skater '90s feel that of Spike Jones. It's a weirdo thing. Live performance is still Victoria Monet, never taking that away. Penmanship, we're going to do a mashup. So I'm going to do Ray. I'm going to do Summer Walker. Yeah, I'll do Ray and Summer Walker. But I need some hits. No diss to them. But I need some motherfucking hits.
You know who I like? Who I forgot to mention?
Who?
Nisha Charles. I would like
Oh,
her
Yes,
on the pens.
yes,
Jersey
yes.
girl. Jersey girl.
Yeah, I was gonna say her for the female artists, but
Jersey.
I didn't do the females. I forgot. But yeah, I would love to see Nisha work with one of the superstar R&B artists.
Can I use SZA as a writer?
I think so.
Is she from the last 10 years though? I feel like she debuted way before that.
Her debut album came out within the last 10 years, but
Okay, you're
You
right.
talking
You're
about
right. It was
SZA?
mixtape. I'm thinking of mixtapes
yeah.
or the whatever they were. Yeah, never mind.
Y'all just made me think too. Dang, now I need to. I'm trying to think of mine for Lola because I realized with Lola Brooke, I didn't give her anybody for visuals. I would give her ASAP Rocky
Ooh.
because I think Lola could really benefit from that like New York City feel, and I think ASAP Rocky and Yam and RP and Ferg 12E would be really good for somebody like Lola Brooke. And Wonder Girl beats. I would love to see her work with like a Wonder Girl or a Trap. What's her name? Trap is it Trap Girl? Um, for Lola. But my bad.
I like no. I like those options. I like those
We was
options.
revising, so I was like, hold on.
No, because
Can we jump in for my
for
girl?
writer, I'm gonna just stick to Summer Walker, Ray. Y'all gotta let me slide with Doja Cat on the writing. Her debut album did come out after 2018. Like, y'all gotta let me slide with Doja on the writing. At least let me slide with Doja on the writing. Um,
Fine.
and then for um, producer, we're gonna do um I am gonna pick a big one and then a smaller one. So we're gonna do I'm gonna do three. We're gonna do K Tronada, Metro Boomin, Jay Versace. That's my artist. My artist is a who was I using for the voice again? Oh, Samara Sin.
Samara.
My artist is damn, but no, okay. Can we use Doshi even though her debut album technically hasn't dropped yet? Do we have an answer to that?
Wait, say it again. I didn't hear you.
Oh, can use Doshi even though her debut album hasn't dropped yet?
That's kind of the point. I think we can. Yeah. I think for me though. Oh, actually no. I was gonna say she's low key a superstar, but not yet. She's not there yet. I think we could
So
use Dochi.
so then I'm gonna throw Doshi in for my aesthetic because I that was the one I was missing was aesthetic. So I'm gonna use Doshi for my personal style slash aesthetic. That's my artist. I think she's fire. Yo, I can imagine my artist's album cover of just like a up close of her face with her grill, and her grill's just mad like one of those ones that got like different marbles and stuff in it. Fire. Yes, that's my artist. Yes, Ron.
I was just waiting to go. That was
Oh
it.
yes, you got your artist. Yeah, we was
He said, "All right, now that you're done."
no, because we was waiting on him. He came up here like, wait, I gotta get my pen and pad.
I really got my pen and pad, but y'all, all these rules and stuff, like I don't know where my art is gonna go at.
He
But
said these
I
rules
need
was
an
not
exception
on.
because I need an exception for the vocals because the producer is gonna make sense, right? I need an
Okay.
No,
exception.
we can't
Hear
do
me
the
out.
vocals. We're trying to build up stars that aren't stars yet, so we can't do an exception for the vocals,
But
unfortunately.
I feel like her. All right. Can
That's
I
the
go?
one. That's
Can I
literally
just?
the point.
Can
We can't do that one for the vocals.
All right, I'm gonna go with vocals. I'm gonna go with India Shawn. I don't know if y'all know. I don't know who that is,
Ooh.
but I'm gonna go
Yes.
with her only because I was gonna go with Brandy, but I feel like she's Brandy Child, so I'm gonna go with India Shawn, right?
Mm-hmm.
For personal style, I feel like all the girls be dressing the same, so we're really not gonna try to take anybody's swag, but we gonna build an aesthetic, right? We're gonna build an aesthetic with Laura Roach, but we gonna have Solange on the board, so she gonna be our
Ooh.
like she's gonna be our like girl that we gonna like kind of study style and stuff like that after, right? For visuals, we're gonna go with SZA because I feel like SZA always gives us like a good visual, especially with like Control and SOS. So we're gonna go with visuals for with SZA. For live performance, can I go with Jasmine Sullivan, please? Just
Mm.
please,
Woo.
just please. I'm gonna go with Jasmine Sullivan for a live performance, and for penmanship,
No one
He said the answer is yes.
because I need somebody that's going to sing live. I don't need no oohs and ahs. We need someone that's going to be singing. So for penmanship, I'm gonna go with Cleo Soul or Leon Thomas.
Yes, I love that.
And then for producer, I wanted to do LaShawn Daniels, rest in peace, but y'all say we can't do nobody back in the day, so I'm gonna go with Raphael Sadiq. So that's my story.
I ain't gonna
Raphael
hold you.
is
I
a
want to hear the
great
album. I
one.
want to hear the album.
Yeah.
I was about to say, so when is the single
They need to put
coming?
me in a room, put me in a
I want to see
room,
the
talk
album
Yes.
off.
cover. Okay, I know that thing gonna eat.
Yeah, no, I need to hear the album.
I will ask though, I do have a question for you. Um, Personally, again from a programming perspective, I at this point in time, I see Cleo Soul having a very niche career. Like I don't know if her approach to music is superstar level. Like I don't even think that's what she's going for. And if it is, then my
Hmm.
bad. But
Hmm.
considering that, would you want her to be writing for an artist that you want to be a superstar?
I feel like when it comes to a superstar, I feel like R&B superstars look totally different from hip hop. So
Touche.
I feel like we don't have like those massive R&B stars anymore. Like we don't have the Ushers, the Mariah Careys, and stuff like that. So I feel like in terms of writing, I think she does it really good. Like terms of writing, she does like really really good. Like
I
and like
completely agree.
yeah. So even when I'm thinking about like other like R&B artists like Beyonce who used Sabrina Claudio on her album, and it's just like she's a star but she's using like other people who's like writing on like a niche genre. So like I would definitely use Cleo Soul.
Okay, I can appreciate that. Thank you.
All right.
I got a question for everybody. Oh
Oh
my
no,
bad.
go ahead, Jazz. What's up? What's up?
Yes, so we all have these lovely artists now. They're in the studio, they cooking up, they working, with their producers and their visuals. What's the first like media outlet or publication y'all sending y'all artists to when they on their single run?
Kia Turner.
Kia,
I
I
was
was just about to
literally
say
gonna say
that.
Kia
I
or
was literally about to
Maya.
say that.
No, if I had to pick because media is so wide. If I had to pick a podcast, I would probably pick no bullshit, and this might be a little like I will pick Joe Budden podcast. I would. It just has a lot of eyes. As far as podcasting goes, it has a lot of eyes. I feel like Joe,
Oh,
when he
that's
does do
smart.
interviews, he try not to be an asshole. Like, like I will say, like, he does do when he decides to do them. I loved his interview with JT, the way they incorporated her and stuff. I love the interview with Money Long. So if I had to do a podcast, I would send her to like a Joe Budden, or I would send her to there's this guy. Well, he's white, and I would definitely want to send her to a black girl. So I would send her to the Reasonable Dialogue podcast because where else would she
Period.
go? And then as far as for a publication, I would just send her to Kia. I would send her to me.
Oh,
Period.
can I go?
Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead.
So my girl, we going to Color Studios. I don't know if y'all know what that is. That do like all the like. Is
Of
it
course.
okay? Yeah, we're going there. We're going live
I love
performance.
it.
Then we got a whole rollout. It's gonna be a weekly rollout, right? We're gonna do Essence
I love
magazine
your
first.
artists. Like, where are they?
We're gonna do Essence magazine first, and then Friday we're gonna drop the performance on Color Studios. So that's how we doing it.
Love it, love it. I personally
I'll
would
be
take
honest.
because I'm doing the R&B heartthrob. I would go with R&B Money for the podcast, and I also think
Ooh.
outside of them having just a great
Oh, that's
conversation,
good. That's a good one.
I think too, like even without like all the other elements, TA like literally as is, I think could benefit from doing a show with R&B Money. But I think outside of the show aspect of it, because Tank kind of was like a heartthrob to some degree, and he kind of fit in that lane. I think there would be a lot for TA to learn in doing a conversation with Tank on that kind of podcast. And then as far as the journalist, I would have him speak with Maya.
I love that so much. I love that. I'm gonna go. I'm gonna have mine. I'm gonna be honest, y'all. I want my artist to get that love from the Jennifer Hudson show. I need Lola to go down that spirit tunnel. I need them to make some tracks for her. I need the content on TikTok. I need Jennifer Hudson right there.
That's a really good one. I didn't even think of that. That's fire.
I think for my artist, because I would want her, like, yeah, she sings, but I really would want to focus on her rapping because I love the new scene of girls that we're getting as far as like the rapping goes. Like, um, I know everybody likes to complain that the girls are rapping about the same things, but I think we're really starting to see now, like, no, they can rap about it all. Like, even Glow rapping about like
Mm-hmm.
domestic violence and manifestation and having a whole gospel song, like bringing it back to the 90s with the gospel songs on there. Like, I think the girls are starting to diversify. So with my artist, I would want her to go to all the hip hop shit, like out the gate. Like, I want her to establish her relationship there. So when she does really pop off and become a big pop star, it's like, nah, I touched my roots. Like, I sat and spoke with Elliot. I sat and spoke with, I don't know, Up Rocks. I sat and went to this freelancer. I sat with the, black women. I sat with the men. Like, I really want her to ingrain herself in that. So when she becomes a pop star, it's like, nah, I know where I came from. Like, I came from the roots, Like, I don't want no Tommy Richmond situation. So anybody else got an artist they want to share with us?
I
We
do.
take all presentations. Who's going next? Notorious, you going next? I mean, Noriety, you going next?
Yeah. Hey y'all. So boom, y'all got me thinking. You can hear me okay, right?
Yeah, we can.
Okay, perfect. So, damn. I decided I want to create the pop alternative R&B pretty boy. So, y'all had me thinking at first I was going to do Sebastian Michael on the vocals, but then I changed it to Buddy. I love, love, love Buddy when he sings. Buddy has such a beautiful voice, in my opinion, and also he know how to spit a track. I've been a fan of him for about a good minute, and his debut album came out 2018. Um, Personal style wise, I want to take from Destin Conrad and Josh Levi, just because I always love the box denim silhouettes that they always give, whether it's fitted, but also when they do a lot of layers, even with their jewelry stacking, it's just always a vibe, and they're on my mood boards personally. After that, I said on the visuals, it got to be on Tinashe level, with the help of Jaquel Knight and Chris Grant, the dynamic duo. For me, for Tinashe, she's always giving a light and colorful vibe, but she's always had the darkest undertone, which is something I feel like an Aquarius does best. And I really just take after what those visuals are. And I feel like applying that to Buddy or somebody in that esque of Buddy with that versatility would just eat. Um, Live performance, I said Tiana Taylor because I've always felt like she was very structured and she knew how to tell a story through the art of acts and concerts, which is something that's always like left me. She was the first concert I ever seen, so I remember it clear as day. And this was the Keep the Same Energy their era, but it still was like pre the Rose tour, if y'all know what I'm talking about. But it was just something about that show. I feel like apply that to Buddy, especially with those visuals. It could be a whole world built on stage. Penmanship. This one was hard, but I went through my top three: Fabo, Jayla Darden, and Ro James. For me, Fabo gives the effort and strength that comes with sharing vulnerability. Same thing with Ro James. Oh my God, I can't even start on his last two projects. Like the penmanship on that alone, and just his use of sampling, it was just so clean. And Jayla Darden, if you know, you know. That girl knows how to tear up a track. Even through ideas, she's eating it. And then finally, producer wise, I have to go with my favorite artist of all time, Laven Cali. He has been making music at least since like 2015. But what really got him in people's mouth was he made Virgo's Groove for Beyonce. And I'm telling people, like, if you hear that song and you listen to Laven after that, that's him all over that track. Penmanship and producing. Like, he ate it up. Other than that, I put Lou Lastic, who works mostly with um what Jan said earlier, like Fabo, Joyce, like that whole Soul Aquarius selection era, like that's the moneymaker right there. That man be on it. And then after that, I put Esta because I come from the SoundCloud days of like 2014. So Masego, Esta, um, Monte Booker, all of them, like that's my vibe for that. So I feel like this would get very house, all, and then to go with what y'all was saying, I was like, VMA pre-show would kind of be like the debut, and I would have him signed to Republic because Republic to me has a good balance of like pop and R&B. And then finally, when y'all were talking about news publications, I was I was thinking R&B Now with Nadeska. Cause yeah, I saw that thumbs down, girl. I said, "Oop, never
I just had
mind."
to be honest. I had to be honest. From a programming
Which
perspective,
part
I
were
don't know if
you?
I would send an R&B pop artist to Republic. I'm gonna just be
Yeah, I
honest.
was gonna ask which part did you disagree
Well,
with?
from what I've like noticed personally was I think Kiana was signed to Republic, or was that just
Kiana is
under
no longer
10?
there though.
Was that
That's kind of
under
the
10
point.
summers?
She was with Republic.
But she's not there no more.
Nope.
Oh, okay, that says a lot. Okay, wow. Okay.
I'm dead. The only reason why I liked it is because I do know just from my time at UFG, like now, there's so many like things going on in terms of like changes and so many like labels going under like bigger labels now. And I think like
Hmm.
within like the next like 2 years, we're really gonna be able to see that like a lot of those labels are literally one big label now. Like
Yeah,
Core, like being like Republic, Core, Def Jam is under Republic, Capital is under Republic, like it's all one big thing. So I'm curious to see how it changes. Um, but out of all of those labels, the ones that got the money right now is Republic. So it's
yeah.
unfortunate, but I get it.
Yeah, I thought about it mainly because I just always thought about like pop R&B, and then I always think of Ari because I think Ari's still under Republic, and I was like, damn, like if that's how they take care of they pop
Ari is under
stars,
Interscope.
Yeah, I was gonna say you talking
what?
about Ari Lennox. Ari Lennox.
Ari is
Yeah,
Interscope.
she's
Yeah.
Interscope Dreamville.
No, no, not Ari Lennox, Ariana Grande.
Oh, sorry.
Oh, okay, okay,
Yeah,
This
like
is
okay.
I'm
John
thinking
Reese.
like real pop R&B. That's
She
why I
was like,
said
"Heh?"
that's why I was like VMA pre-show because I'm like I really wanted to give like a wider audience. I feel like alternative R&B hasn't really been given like a bigger stage other than like Music Matters on BT, which is fine, but like I really want to give people like that intro into like what a bigger stage could, like if it was back on like what the main culture was real, like MTV, VH1, where like before what can I say, who Nikki did it in 2010, then she hit the stage like the year later. Ariana did it in 2013, she's been on the main stage ever since type shit. Like I feel like it's levels to it, and I feel like the VMAs is like the perfect starting ground. Other than that, I said Nadeska because I love the homegrown interview she did, Tierra Whack,
I
LMA,
love her.
like she's the reason why I got into journalism as a whole. And I know like her responses and her relationships that she builds with the artists alone, that would just make my artist become more personable with the stands and the fans, which is what I would really want at the end of the day. Not too niche, but like not too big and bad, if that makes sense. But that's me.
I love it. Now I got a question.
Also, before you pop off,
I'm
I would
sorry.
love to say you should look into being an A&R or just on a team, a marketing
Mm-hmm.
strategy, or just something strategically for a team. Because a lot of the stuff you were saying was very well thought out and researched, and I feel like you had a lot of great
Y'all
takes.
don't play with me right now, please.
I'm so serious. Like
No,
you sounded like you know what the fuck you
yeah.
talking about. So if I'm an artist, you probably should lock in with him and see what you think he could add to your
Another
package.
ratty R&B, it's me.
Facts. No, I gotta ask this y'all before I leave my mind. Now, for everybody, if your artist had their first single out and it's booming, what TV show or movie would y'all want it synced in?
There's only one right answer
Then
in
if
my book.
if Insecure was out, I would
I was
definitely
gonna
want
say
to see
that.
that.
Yep.
Exactly.
Period.
Now, if I see P Valley, then what?
P Valley will be
Ooh,
fired, I think,
Because that would
for
be.
the rap artists
yes,
and potentially the heartthrob.
yes.
Mm.
And in terms of music discovery, like I feel like P
Yeah.
Valley's music supervision is really geared towards uplifting like up and coming talent. So I think that one would be really, really fire. I'm gonna go with Power. Just cause, I think Lola could have a hit in Power. I think it would be fire if they did something like that. Maybe raising could be raising Canaan because that was back in the day. So maybe she can get like a sync there. Or like a sync in one of the like I don't know, maybe she can get a sync in that new SZA and Kiki Palmer movie that's coming out with Easter or something.
Oh my God, yes. Anything with Issa Rae, I would want my artist involved with personally.
RP rap shit. You just had me think yarn. Like, damn it, we really yellow for rap shit.
All right, so we got Tony up here too. He was the person I was talking about. I wanted to do Mean, and I was like, all right, you can have him. So Tony, go ahead. You can roll out your
Fuck
artist.
out of here. You jacked them anyway. I heard you. You ain't low.
I didn't use him. I used the
Yeah, I hear
girl.
you.
Or not the guy. I used
Yeah,
TA.
whatever. We already had that talk too.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
But nah, for my person, I'm also on the R&B wave. So vocals, I'm doing El Mean. Personal style is gonna be very Toronto vibe. So between Party Next Door and Dylan Sinclair. Live performance, I'm going with Anderson .Paak. So I'm gonna do him like that Silk Sonic Anderson .Paak type performance style. Writer, we said we got to do new people for producer and writer, right? Like early-ish new people.
Writers, yes. Producer and like director is anything 2010 and up.
All right, so writers, I'm gonna do a like a mix between her, Friday, and Anderson. And then producer, I'm gonna go with D Mile. And then videographer, I'm gonna do this videographer named Tanu Muin who did like Wild Side and a lot of Lil Nas X stuff. So like very theatric slash bold visuals. The outlet, of course, would be probably Colors. Podcast, honestly, I would have them going like The Breakfast Club and all that to be more exposed to an older audience. Uh, and I feel like the Colors will handle the younger generation. Record label, I'm doing XL recording, so they're not going to be US based. I'm sending them over to the UK and letting them handle the R&B artists the right way. I like the way the UK do R&B versus America. And I forgot the other questions, but that'd be my person right there.
Yo, I say all the time that London has a R&B scene out of this
Mm-hmm.
world. Like the R&B artists over there and XL, like they know. I think Adele was signed to XL at one point.
Yep.
Like the shit that they do over there, they historically are just known for like they take care of their people for real, for real. So yeah, no, I agree. London got the streets over there with R&B.
I will say one thing that I hear from a lot of the UK artists though themselves is it's really hard to break an R&B in the UK because the infrastructure is not as developed as the US.
That makes
I was
sense
gonna say I
though.
can see
Which
that.
yeah, I can understand that as well. Cause I be discovering some artists. I'm like, damn, they fire as hell. And I'll be wondering like why you can't like like why they not big in it. Cause I'm like over here, like that shit sound fire. They could be a star over here. Um but yeah, I agree. London got they hold on the R&B scene. One thing I'm noticing from a lot of what everyone is saying is that we're longing for at least like a offshoot from the traditional. Like yeah, it could be R&B, but maybe alternative or maybe a little bit more leaning towards hip hop or pop. Like I'm noticing everybody is creating an artist that kind of maybe is in one thing but they lean towards something else as well. So that's really dope to hear. Like, people do long for more variety in our genres and even the subgenres.
That is
Justice for alternative R&B, girl. Justice for alternative R&B. I miss it. I miss it.
I was gonna say for me, I felt like I just want to do a traditional R&B artist. That's why I kind of went with
Yeah.
writers that were more so in like the church. Like Anderson was a drummer in the church, and that's where his penmanship and vocals kind of come from. Same with her. If you look at Friday, same with him and his vocal style. Like I wanted a more churchy R&B artist, but with a darker edge. So I went with the Dylan Sinclairs and all that, like for that edge. But I wanted the vocals and all that. Even like El Mean, his voice is very soulful. Like church vibe. So I want my R&B church dude, but with an edge to him.
Do you
I
I
feel
think
love
like,
Ashley's the most
that.
traditional artist out of all. I literally just did a R&B heartthrob.
remember when we was talking earlier about changing the release dates, like for Tyler dropping tomorrow? For your artists, do you feel like with the cultural change of like not a lot of people are going to church anymore, like where they're building singers like that, like they used to? I felt like that's a real demographic that's changed. Do you feel like we'll ever have a superstar coming from that potential ever again? Not to sound too dramatic. I know that sounded dramatic, but like,
A superstar coming from the church background.
yeah, like heavy in it. Like, I would say, the 90s kids, they can still count as that. The early 2000 kids count as that. But like mid 2000s and up, like the newcomers and stars, they're not really coming from the churches. A lot of them are coming from SoundCloud, boot camp, real, like just in the bedroom with it, like learning from, I don't want to say copying, but a lot of it is like self taught now.
I'm gonna be optimistic, and I'm gonna actually say yes. I actually do think we still have some Gen Z, Gen Alpha that's heavy in the church, and I see it also sometimes on TikTok. Like there's a lot of like youth based like um, organizations that really have like these TikTok communities that's building. So I think it's there. I just think it's very spread out, and I even think Glorilla is a perfect example, like how she just pulled Kirk Franklin up and um, that choir, and now she has like a number one song on a gospel chart. I think it's there. I think we're just gonna see it like in a different way and in a different medium versus how it may have felt and seen before. Which is why I think that question or that conversation y'all had in the beginning about like what does a superstar look like today? I think it's important because I think the metrics have changed, and I don't think that necessarily takes away from like the talent or the impact. I just think like it just looks a little different. Um, that's my feel on it.
I think that is gonna be from the like what do they call it? Like the people not from America. Like so like Tim's like it's gonna be like first gen kids, like a Friday, like again, Haitian background, Nigerian background, like people that aren't American where Christian culture is still active in their countries and is a big part of their lives, but like again, gonna be those type of artists.
Amen. You ate that.
Not
I got a
amen, you
question.
silly.
I got a question. The amen is hilarious. I don't want to lose it. Okay, so now that y'all artists have been in the studio, they got their single out. They done went to the Joe Budden podcast. They doing all these things. The girls are loving them in London. Da 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 da. Now they have this notoriety. What's a brand out there that you would love to see your artist align with? For example, we just saw like Megan Thee Stallion with the True Religion. She has that. We've seen artists like Travis Scott and Sweetie do the McDonald's deal. Like, what's a brand you think aligns best with your artist or your star?
Okay, so considering I had my artist aesthetic be Fabo, I would love to see, maybe it's not necessarily a brand, but I would love to see this artist work with like Ice Studios and Renault. Cause she does a lot of that like
Yes,
2000s like real grungy but fly type shit. Like I think that is like if she worked with Fabo, that shit would be fire. So if TA had Fable's aesthetic, if he worked with her, I think that shit would look so crazy.
I love that.
The partnership can be anything, like clothes, TV, music, like
Yes,
anything. Okay.
yes.
Um, Being that I'm taking the aesthetic from Doshi, I would like to see her partner with like a Issa Rae and kind of do like whether that's like a series or even like some type of like documentary on like something, because I feel like Doshi is like a real student, and I feel like we really haven't gotten to really know all the things that she could be into. It's kind of like when Solange started to break out. It's like we knew she was the artsy one, but we didn't know that she was going to be putting together her own, concerts and, highlighting black musicians and the archival things that she's doing as far as like building her collective. Um so I would like to see like my artist partner with like a Issa Rae and like really get into film and TV and making more shows geared for like 20-year-olds and like teens, because I noticed that's lacking in television as well. There's not a lot of shows highlighting, especially for people within our age group who are maybe dealing with like career up and down, like highs and lows, or like, that idea of leaving home to follow your dreams and then coming back home, but home is still on some bullshit. So you kind of stuck between both worlds, accounts being overdrawn, and just very realistic 20 something, early 30 something year old shit. So I would like to see my artists do something like that, like get into film and TV and really tell some like unique storytelling for the Gen Z black audience.
I would probably have my artists be on like Gap or Paco Rabanne or Calvin Klein. Something like, I don't want to put it like, yeah, it's a queer icon thing, but I grew up really loving music through the act of commercials. Like, they just ate. It was so charismatic. I would love to make an artist like a personality almost. Not even like in meme culture, more so like it's a brand, it's a aura. Kind of like how Tyler embodies it. Like Tyler eats every time. I'm like, ooh, she would just eat in a commercial. Like the Gap commercial she did, I'm like, that's everything. But that's probably what I would like to do. Key, your answer 8, by the way. But I gotta go, y'all. I just wanted to say bye real quick.
Thank you for coming up here and adding your
Bye,
perspective.
Love
love.
y'all,
Thank you for
OD.
that.
Thank y'all for the opportunity, for real, for real.
Tori, what's up, girl?
Hey, can y'all hear me
Yeah, we
well?
can hear you.
Word. Yeah, I was really thinking about this. And I probably like my general overall artist would probably be Kalila, and I might be saying her name wrong. But I just love her vocals. I think that she really brought something that we were missing, and she continues to kind of push it, and I really appreciate that. But in general, I really love Liv. She had a really great album last year. She just performed with Solange and a few other artists at the orchestra in LA. But she also produced her whole last album, which was called A Girl in a Half Pearl, if I'm saying that properly. But I think that she's probably the most innovative R&B, alternative R&B girl that I've come across in a long time. Like I said, she produced her last album, and I was just mind blown, to be honest. It's soulful, it's R&B. You never really know where it's gonna go. It's whimsical, it's theatric, but it's still just like R&B. And you could tell she grew up around like a church atmosphere from her vocals. And yeah, like just generally she's killing it. And I know that she's not even reached her full potential yet. When it comes to personal style, I think that Tiana Taylor just takes it every single time. I feel like I've never disliked a single look that she's put out there, and that's hard to say. Um, yeah, I'm gonna say Kalila and Liv is just killing it, and I hope they in this next 10-year run they continue to like show why they are the girls.
I'm
I would
obsessed.
sidebar and say we need to name this space as Thank You, Tiana, because the amount of looks that she's getting from all of us.
No, she's really the blueprint. And I know I remember last week we mentioned that maybe she didn't get to that superstar status that we all think that she deserved, but in my world she is. The metrics are different from 20 years ago, so I feel like we shouldn't be comparing it that way, but she is a household name on every level, music, um the way that she even is helping other artists at this point. She's found her purpose, and I think she's fucking killing it.
Hello? Hello?
I thought my audio stopped working. It wasn't letting me do nothing. My
Oh,
bad,
I
y'all.
thought somebody else was talking.
Yeah, I did too. So I'm like, wait, what's happening right now? My bad.
That's why I went hello.
I also want to big up her.
I
I
was gonna
think
use
that
her, but I don't know. Like, didn't she debut prior to the last 2 years or no?
I'm not really sure actually.
Yeah,
Possibly.
but I like her as a selection though. So
Yeah.
I went to her festival she put on in the Bay Area, and I got to finally see her perform live. And the way she was just singing and playing that guitar, like I was like, yeah, she's a
Ain't
fucking
no look, so
superstar.
ain't no way hell I'll be doing this shit. Coast Guard.
100%. I seen her. She did a show a couple years back with Erica Badu at Barclays Center, and
What
I
about take back?
totally could
Hold
understand
on.
why
Let me tell you
Prince
what now.
co-signed her.
That's my move stuff.
What the fuck is he doing? Sorry, y'all. My bad.
Is everything okay?
I just heard a lot of background noises. I think Tony had unmuted his mic.
Oh, okay. I was like, child, are we good? We are down bad. Um, so a few of y'all submitted y'all list. We gonna get into it. We have Homie Cage. I'm sorry if I mispronounced y'all Twitter names. Yeah, I don't have an excuse for it. I'm sorry. Um, they said vocals Tori Kelly, personal style Rihanna. Beat. You automatically lost. Your personal style can't be Rihanna, and your penmanship can't be Alicia Keys. Sorry, it lost. Aw, somebody had an aw sound. Aw. Wait, Jan, you there?
Yeah, I don't know if you. I did the little the.
Hello, Elon. You will pay.
Yeah, I know. I'm like, is my mic not working or something? Because I keep talking. I don't know. This is weird. I'm gonna just stop using the soundboard because every time I use the soundboard, it fucks up my audio.
No, Elon really fucking with our production value. Um, no, for real. And then William gave us 2 stars. So his female R&B star has Ari Lennox and Raina Roberts as vocalists. Personal style, Victoria Monet and Ryan Destiny. Visuals is Megan Cardi. Live performance is Tinashe and Chloe. Penmanship is Nisha Charles, SZA, and Taylor Parks. Producer Wonder Girl, D Mile, and Kate Tronada. Male R&B star, vocals Elijah Blake slash Sir, personal style V Cartier slash Kevin Ross, visuals Masego, live performance Lucky Day. Ooh, that was a good one. Penmanship Eric Bellinger, Leon Thomas. Ooh, Eric, that was a good one. And producer D Mile. A lot of D Mile on the list. A lot of Z Mile. A lot of Z Mile.
Yeah, here's another one. This is like a thank you, Tiana and D Miles
No, for
space.
real.
I love Ryan Destiny for personal style. That was a good
That
one.
was a good one. Coolness gave us a visual. On the vocals for the perfect female modern R&B pop star, we have, I always pronounce it wrong. Is Haley or Holly Berry? Haley Bailey, right? Haley Bailey?
I'm gonna say yes. I don't know.
Haley Bailey. Personal style, we have Coco Jones. Visuals, we have Doja Cat. Performance style, we have Victoria Monet. Victoria's taking it for the girls. Penmanship, SZA. SZA's taking it. And production, we have Tommy Brown and Leon Thomas. Leon is another one who's been popping up tonight. Leon, come get your flowers. Scarlett. Oh, I love when we have the Doja stands in here. Those are the only stands I'll be willing to deal with outside of Doji. Um, we have vocals. I know FKA Twigs, Mooney Long. Oh, that's combination. Combination.
Girl, it's money long. Like my money is long.
Mooney,
It's like a play on
money,
words. Money.
a mummy. That's what we gonna call it. Mummy Long.
Money
A
long.
mummy Long. Mom Long. Some. Her. Y'all know who she is. Priscilla Renee. Um. Personal style, Doja Cat, Doshi, a bit of Cardi B, visuals, Doja Cat, Megan Thee Stallion, performance style, Victoria Monet. Victoria's taking it for the girls. Maybe Tinashe, penmanship, SZA and Doshi, heavy on Doshi, and then production, Arca. Yeah, I think I pronounced that right, Arca. But yeah, So that's what we have, and then yeah, that was all the people that have submitted their list so far.
Wait, we got one more. It's at the
Oh,
top.
wait a minute.
They just
Let me
shared it.
scroll all the way. Let me scroll. Okay, we got Josh Bryan on the track. We got vocals from Eli Derby. Personal style slash aesthetic Jordan Ward. Ooh, that's a good one. We like Jordan over here. Visuals Lucky Day. Ah, we got another Lucky. Live performance Giveon. Oh, okay. Penmanship James Funk.
You are
Huh?
so
Huh?
petty.
I ain't even say nothing. Penmanship James Fowler. Ooh, come on, we gotta give it up, Big James Fowler. Excuse me, Money Long, Leon Thomas, another Leon Thomas classic, and producer D Mile, another D Mile production.
Also, just wanted to say on that one, I love Eli Derby as a selection. So for y'all who don't know who he is, I want to say he's 18 now. He's super young. He was signed to LVRN for a little bit through management. I'm not sure where he's signed now, but he can sing his ass off. He dances his ass off. He writes his own shit. He plays instruments. He's basically like baby Chris Brown, but he doesn't have like any huge records yet.
I'm gonna check Eli Derby out. You gave
Yeah,
him a good
he's.
cosign.
I like his whole. And then now that he's 18, he's like literally rebranding his whole shit because he really looked pretty kiddish when he first came out, which is not a bad thing because he was young.
Right.
But now that nigga got tattoos and a mustache, I'm like, who the fuck is
Not the
this?
Chris Brown rebrand.
Yeah, but he's rebranding and the music that he's been releasing over last couple months has been really good in my opinion.
Okay, we got C's up in the building.
Hey y'all. So for my artist, I also wanted to have like a R&B artist, but I wanted to have somebody that could kind of sing classical R&B, but then also do the like trap soul, dark R&B, kind of teetering over to rap a little bit. For my producers, I wanted Louis Elastic, who has been mentioned, and Leon Thomas, kind of balancing out that like R&B, but then also Leon, I think, is definitely capable of the like more dark and moody kind of R&B as well. For the style, definitely Destin Conrad. Not only his clothing style, but like his Instagram, how he markets himself in that way, and how he packages his releases. In terms of doing like small EPs, kind of solidifying his sound. Which has been a really pleasant kind of journey to go along with him being a fan. For the pen, I would say Raheem, and I also had James Fauntleroy. I think Raheem is great. Like he has that balance of like if you listen to his music, sometimes I really kind of do think that he sounds like Drake, but if Drake could like really really sing, and I think that he could really go somewhere with that, and definitely Fable too. I feel like he definitely has a lot of sleepers that people just don't know about. For performance, I have Josh Levi because I feel like he can dance and then he can also, kind of sit down and sing and make you cry just from the vocals. Visuals was probably the hardest for me. I had Tizo Touchdown or Holly Bailey. Really just because wanting something like super creative, but then also like a heavy storytelling element that I feel like is missing a little bit today. For the vocals, I have Raheem just because he has like this tone that I feel like does the dark and moody R&B really, really well, but then he also can blow. He came up in church too. Or Q, who is really, really musical, and most of his music is a little alternative, but a lot of his older songs are R&B, and I feel like his voice can like do a lot. And for some of the other questions that like people brought up, for a media outlet, I would say the Terrell Show. I think that would be great for them.
Love
Especially
that.
Yeah, especially to be able to show like, okay, regardless of whatever vibe I'm giving off of my songs, like here, y'all can see me sing and then show, personality too. I really love Terrell. For a label, I was thinking Love Renaissance because, just whoever they have on Summer Walker's marketing team, grab them, need them. I love how she packages her things. And then for a brand to like partner with, I would go with a clothing brand that might not be that big, that doesn't really have like a big cosign, and then kind of keep them along throughout the journey to kind of always have those two associations, almost like Mariah the Scientist and Spider, um, OT7 Kwani, who's a rapper, and a brand called Hellstar. But to kind of just have this relationship, but then that kind of gets them around in the streets talking and stuff like that. So that's my R&B artist.
Love, love, love.
You
Hey Dot, I see you on there. Um, wait, what? um, I do have a question for y'all based off like what one of the homies DM me. Is there a previous superstar that's the influence for this superstar? Like someone that, came out before them that like if they were asked like who's your influence? Like who's the first person they name?
When I think of Lola Brooke, I think of Foxy Brown. I'm gonna go
Mm,
there. Foxy and Lil Kim for Lola.
For TA, I was going for he wasn't a superstar in my opinion, but he did have a big splash because he went into entertainment and TV. But I'm kind of going for like a Tyrese feel with mine.
keep it that way.
Mine is a non-child molester, R. Kelly.
You
Excuse
know
me.
what?
Nigga, what? I just got service just to hear that. What the
A,
fuck?
a non-child molester, R. Kelly. What you mean?
What do you mean a non-child? There's no way you could undo that.
What? Yes, you can. If the nigga didn't molest children, it'll be that. Like, what we talking about?
What does our okay? Strictly objective. Strictly objective. What R. Kelly song has had y'all like, you know what? He is the greatest to touch
Cause he
R&B.
thont
Are
cause
we crazy? Wait,
Hey,
wait.
that
That nigga's
nigga
still the
I'm
king of
sorry. I'm gonna
R&B.
have to
What we talking
disagree with
about?
that. Yeah, his catalog is
What are we
insane.
talking about? Yeah, nah,
No,
you
but I'm
bugging. Like, R.
asking for
Kelly's still
I'm
the
not
king.
I'm not
okay,
bugging.
no, no,
I'm
no,
legit
no,
asking.
but if you have to dig deep and dive in the catalog, right? What was he talking about to even create those songs? For me, it disqualifies everything of his discography, his writing pen, whatever. I don't give a fuck about that because at the end of the day, where he got his inspiration to create them songs was from a nasty nigga place.
That's why
So
this
I
new
don't
nigga
still don't
is a
get it.
non-child molester, R. Kelly. I literally put those words in there for a reason. You see, come on. See, you gotta stay with me.
I'm just asking what's the like when people reference
Cause he made y'all believe you could fly. That's why.
You know what?
no, because I really gotta know. Because here's the thing, right? I know when we have a conversation about R&B and kings of R&B and stuff like that, people still do include him. They're like, "Hey, it is what it is." Like, he did what he did. I'm never taking away from his. I hate that I'm saying this. I'm never taking away
I know it's like it sucks to talk about it, but it's
because
R.
it's like the
Kelly though.
context, like Milan said, the context of everything. But I'm never taking away from the good parts of his discography. Like, step in the name of whatever love well, not his love,
We
but
don't know what love he
the
was
love
stepping
that
in. I can't
we
qualify that.
stepped in a love together as a people when we danced to that song. That was us, okay? We took ownership of the song. That ain't his no more. That's ours, okay? But like, what is the album or the song that for y'all is like, yo, this what cements him as who he is in R&B?
For me, I fuck with 12 Play and Chocolate Factory, but again, this nigga is a non-child molester, R. Kelly. For the umpteenth time. The fuck? Like,
Okay.
I don't know what to
12
tell you.
play. 12
I
years
don't know what to
old.
tell
I don't
you.
know. I don't know.
A
Milan,
non-child molester R. Kelly was the things I
Milan.
said. You said who they modeling after is a
Cause
non-child
I'm
molester
trying to
version.
understand. I be trying to understand. The nigga wasn't talking about fucking Willy Wonka when he made Chocolate Factory. He wasn't talking about no grown ass women. Nigga was talking about a bunch of fucking kids pissing on kids, doing nasty shit to children.
And
So
that's
I'm
why the new
sorry. I
nigga is a non-child
understand.
molester version
Okay,
of
I
so
that.
can you give us another
understand, but I can't.
yeah, give us another R&B example that he would go to, because realistically he also probably wouldn't say that coming out as a new artist, understanding the implications of that. So who's another R&B artist he would go
Nigga was across the seas talking about, do you want to come
to?
to America?
Not
Like,
the
come on, what
passport,
we
not the
talk
passport
about?
song, not the passport song.
That
Do
Ethiopia
you
shit
have
type
your
funny. I don't. That's
passports?
crazy. That Ethiopia song mad funny. Like I understand it's mad funny. Like who does that at a concert? That's
Okay,
why
but
it's funny.
Tony, let's move on. Give us another R&B legend. Please, it's plenty. Give us another one.
That's the one I'm going with. I stand on what I stand on. If you don't like it, it's all good. I don't care.
Well,
Damn, yo, I really wonder
moving
how
right
your artist would
along.
deal with that in the press.
I would never let that nigga say that. I'm telling you what I would model it after. He
What are
ain't
we
gotta say that
saying?
though.
We saying
He
don't.
not he don't gotta be Tyler. I understood what they was trying to do with Tyler. Like, yo, I'm colored, but y'all niggas is dumb and American, don't
Okay,
understand what that
so
is. So
pretend we the press and we asking him this question. What would his response be?
he would say, I'm be me, I'm original. Like all these other niggas do where they actually model after somebody but say they just be themselves. Like the same shit. What we talking about?
I beat myself. Y'all is funny. All right, who next? Who else got a little influence for their artist?
I would say Music Soul Child and Bryson
Look
Tiller.
at that. R&B.
I was saying another list, but he's still not going with the guidelines. The guidelines are on the big screen if you scroll all the
Uh,
way back.
okay. Then I would say Bryson Tiller if his
No,
influence had to be
not
like from
you.
that.
You're
Oh,
fine.
my
I'm saying
fault. My
there's
fault.
somebody that keeps sending their list, but they keep not following the guidelines. So I'm gonna send the guidelines one more time.
Is it under the is it under our spaces tweet? Cuz yeah. Let me see. We told y'all before stop bringing Quincy Jones and them up. We told y'all that last time. No Quincy, no Smokey, no.
He said Tevin Campbell.
Wait, post
I'm
it.
sorry.
Post it. Post it.
I did.
That's why I asked about the writers. Otherwise I'll just with Babyface.
I'm not even stuck on Babyface. I'm trying to figure out why Usher and Tevin Campbell was here. 2014 to 2024 loves, not 1994. But I appreciate the effort. I do. Um, y'all, it was y'all saying it.
I'm
Y'all
sorry.
got so frustrated. Yo, you really ticked out. Yo, you really crashed out over that tweet. Um, so based off of the artists that we've created tonight, what do we think is the future of music? Because I don't know what it is based off what we all created. We all done came up a lot of R&B tonight. I will say that we had a lot of R&B, a lot of alternative artists. What is the future based off of what we're saying? Because we're the public. So what's next?
Is niche
One thing
hyper focused sounds and groups, as you just heard with all of us in our different styles and stuff. You're just gonna get more of that super niche people that try to get the machine to push them up to the front.
One thing I love, I've noticed is a consistent theme in the music that I'm loving is the bedroom producers and artists who kind of just make music on their own and kind of do their own DIY type thing. Um, and yeah, just those artists that really keep everything in house. They work with the same producer friends they've known for years. Like my favorite rap album in the last 10 years actually came out in 2014 by Shabazz Palaces called Black Up. I still haven't heard anything as innovative and futuristic as that. Um, Liv is kind of on the border, but she's a singer. So yeah, like everything I've loved in the recent years has just been bedroom produced type music. And I'll add on to say like, yeah, that's been happening for a long time, for at least the last decade with SoundCloud and everything. But I feel like a lot of the music was still trying to imitate what we trying to have that studio quality or that studio sound or that mainstream sound. Now people are just like experimenting way more, and I feel like at least for me personally, I'm just so bored with most singers. I don't know what has happened to me in like the last 3 or 4 years, but it's like I can recognize that a person is a great rapper or a great singer, but I'm bored. It's like I've heard it already. I've heard everything. It's those one or two artists that just push it to the edge, does that edgy vocal that I wasn't expecting, that imperfection. is just gold to me now. So I want to see more of that experimental bedroom production type innovation.
Further on that point too, I do agree that I think the future of music is going to be more experimental, and you see it a lot happening with just the conversation around artists wanting to essentially dabble in a bunch of different types of influences and create their own sound rather than just creating traditional sounding music. And I think even like you see like the Tizos of the world doing what he's doing, and SZA having the moment she had, which is not traditional R&B, it's alternative R&B. So she's leaning into rock and alternative elements to make her stamp. So I do feel like the future of music is experimentation, but I do also feel like because a lot of us are so tired of hearing the same shit, you are gonna have to. We're getting back to you have to be able to. You're gonna have some kind of talent. You can't just be on auto tune and making bullshit, and it's not necessarily gonna work. And even on the rap side, you got to be able to rap. When you see the conversation about hip hop, they want. Can you hold on? They want people who can rap, not just the ABC raps. Like they want introspection in their music, and I feel like a lot of that is what we're gonna see coming back, paired with the experimentation on the production side.
I agree.
Once I listen to once I listen to a rapper, and if I can predict some of your bars, or I just can predict what word you're about to say next, I'm kind of done because it's not challenging me. It's not pushing anything forward. So I really appreciate when rappers just kind of go off on um, different rhyme schemes at different moments that I wasn't expecting. I feel like too many people are just sitting in comfortable pockets. So it's like everything I just heard everything. I'm just like, damn man, can we just try a
Yeah.
little
No,
more?
I agree. Specifically, even to your point, Tori, with rap, I think me personally, I think because I try to stay optimistic, I think the future of music is going to be more collaborative, and I think we've touched on that tonight. I think it's really going to take a village, right? Because you do have those amazing artists like Tezo or Fabo, like or like a Dochi or like a Lola. But there's a part of me, and I don't know if this is an unpopular opinion, but there's a part of me that feels like some of those artists are kind of like overqualified, right? To the point where it's almost like, okay, you're good, but you should be DIY. But it's like, yeah, but I still need the mentorship. I still need the OG that's going to look out for me. I still need the OG that's going to, have my back through this new world, because yes, I may have grown up and been inspired by your world, but this is a brand new world now where the deals aren't the same like they was back in the forth. The budgets are different. The media outlets are different. The music discovery is different. So if there's a way we can bridge the gap to have these amazing artists like the Doechis, the Lolas, the Tizos, the Fabos, the Samara Sins, etc., out there, it's like the least we can do is uplift them. I think that was my favorite thing about Rock Nation signing Megan when her mother died. And her mother, I'll never forget the day her mother died, because it was the day she finally released like her single with an actual label. But I was instantly thinking like, damn, like she don't have no parental figure around her that was one, her manager, that can really guide her through this game. So I think we if we see more of that, and I'm hoping we see more of that from like the take the village standpoint, I think music could be in a great space. But I think we just got to keep bridging these gaps to get there. I hope that makes sense.
Can y'all hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. I like the point that you made as well. I just wanted to say too that I think artists need to get back to training their audience again. I think we've been warped into the trends and trying to follow the trends instead of create the trends. And a lot of artists are scared to go against the grain because obviously now is more of a money versus creative instead of letting it be the creative that makes the money for you. So I think when artists find the space to be brave again, to actually experiment and not give a fuck what the everyday consumer has to say we can get to a proper place of artistry. And until then, and unfortunately, they're going to have to go against the labels as well, trying to please the labels, because the labels is what wants the money versus the actual artistry that's going to last, the test of time. We're going to have to push the envelope, really press those buttons, and go against the grid, go against the norm, and really start doing real experimentation. Like and I would say that just based off like Meg's new album or mixtape, whatever she's calling it, that I was listening to, like she does have some tracks where she is trying, you can tell she's trying to experiment stuff. But because the everyday consumer is like, oh, we don't want to hear that, da 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 da, we want to hear what we are accustomed to hearing and accustomed to what's being pushed. I think artists really have to take back their true artistry and really say, fuck the politics, fuck what the industry wants. Let's get back to getting in the studio, being creatives. Like, I'm not gonna lie, we are definitely in a new era where even producers, y'all not even in the studio with the artists. Y'all niggas is sending the beats over and hoping that they gonna cut the vocals and the tracks for y'all and then send it back. Like, nah, niggas need to be in the motherfucking studio starting from scratch, play a chord real quick and build off of that. You know what I'm saying? Like, we need to really get back to the essence of engineer, producer, artist, whoever, being in those rooms and creating that magic and seeing what the fuck happens, and also not being scared to put out something that is in fact different. If you want to be different, guess what? It's not something that you have to try to do. You just do it. That's my time.
I actually love what you said, sis, because I also feel the same way about a lot of these artists. Like, don't get me wrong, right? We need every single type of artist that we see. We need the Sexy Reds, we need the Cleo Soul, we need all of it, right? Because music isn't just one dimensional. But I do often wonder about, like, who really takes the craft just fucking serious? Like, who really just has the pure unfiltered talent? Like I said earlier, I think Mariah Scientist can write, but other than that, I'm not seeing it for her. And that's just the God honest truth. Like, I do think that people like a 21 Savage are so influential to like the hip hop scene now. But I don't really know what that legacy might be in 20 years. We ain't going to talk about him necessarily the way we talk about someone else. And that's just the honesty of it. Like, I, I hate to admit it, but it's the truth. So I wonder sometimes how much of this are we looking at just defines this time, and then how much are we looking at is really going to be like 20, 30, 40 years from now they're referencing that. I
Well,
question
I'm gonna be
that.
honest. I feel like I can confidently say 20, 30, 40 years, a lot of stuff isn't going to be referenced literally because a lot of it sounds the same. If you look at the history of music, whether that be R&B, hip hop, whatever genre, a lot of those artists that made a huge impact in the space that they were in was because they had a unique sound and something broke through, and then going forward they were used as an influence for other artists or sounds or whatever. Like, i.e., like, I think Bryson Tiller is a great example. Even though he doesn't have this spectacular singing voice, he kind of
Love Bryson.
shifted what R&B sounded like him and Drake for
Mm-hmm.
like to today. Like, everything still sounds Bryson-esque. So it's like you can't
Yes.
say that some of these new artists are gonna be the influential artists later because their influence is Bryson. So it's like we still going back to Bryson. So like until a lot of these artists kind of pull from their own sound and really lean into it, you're not gonna get the legacy because y'all sound like somebody who built the legacy before you already, and it's just a copy and paste of that.
Talk about it.
And the
I'm sorry.
crazy
I
thing
This
of
is a Bryson Stan account. I agree. I feel the same way about people like Dage Loaf. Like everything you just said just is resonates in my vein. Sorry, sister Kia. I had to get that off.
Is
no, you good, because like that's the way I feel about Thugger. I feel like a lot of these niggas out here sound like Thug. Like,
is Bryson, uh, Janae Aiko, SZA, and Frank Ocean. That's all I hear.
Yep.
yup, that's a big part too. That Tumblr R&B era is still we're still living in that. It might change form as far as like how the industry sells it,
Is that a
but we're
bad
still in
thing or a good thing? Like, cause it's coming from like the blog era. What's that, like 2011, 2012, 2013?
I don't
You
know.
know,
I kind of think I think it's good in the sense that it's showing that we still
can I say
have
something?
impact.
Can I say something? You know what? Yeah, like you know,
I was literally gonna say you have one more time to cut somebody off and you getting pushed to the gulag because we're not doing that.
Like fuck niggas thought this shit was. You're not disrespecting my sister. Y'all move it. Move it. I said it like that. Move it. I like to move it, move it. I like to move it.
Like, Will, what's up? Will's an artist. He's a great performer. I'll
Yes.
say.
Hey Will.
What's up, y'all? How y'all doing, man? Can y'all hear me?
Yes.
Cool. I'm in the car just driving. And nah, it's dope, man. I was listening to what Milan was saying earlier, and with this music, man, and I'm just a little old me, but for stuff to last, people got to be willing to like die for it.
Hold on. I'm sorry. Somebody was disrespecting who now?
Yeah, niggas was trying to come crazy at Jazz. We had to shut that shit the fuck down. He was like,
Who?
he
Who's
spoke.
that?
He spoke and said something. Then Jazz tried to like add to his point. He was like, "Can I speak?" Nigga, first
Let
of
me
all,
tell
you
y'all
cut me
something. Let
off.
me explain something to y'all, all right? You see the host right here, Tatiana, Kia, myself, Jazz. This is our motherfucking room first, okay? It's a pleasure for y'all to be here. That's first and foremost. Second of all, we respect everybody here, so we expect the respect to be given, not even having to be earned. That's
They put my sister in the blender, but y'all fucking heard what she said. No fucking
second.
disrespecting. Period. Sister, they put you in a blender. Sister. Oh
No,
my
thank
God,
thank
Elon,
thank
you're
you,
gonna
my
pay.
sisters. Thank you, my sisters, because I'm trying to keep it very demure, very cute. But
No,
I was
no, no.
definitely
You
like,
supposed to do that because you the
Yeah, it was
producer.
like every time you said something, he should. All right, let's relax.
No,
Just
you
chill
the
out.
producer. You supposed to keep it professional. Let us cuss everybody out. Well, you keep it professional. Fuck wrong with these niggas. What
Third
you
of
say? What
all,
you say?
Can I say something? I would love to see like more producer albums, because a lot of times, like the Flying Lotus album, where he had like Solange and Shabazz Palaces and Anderson Paak. Like some of those songs get bumped up to my favorite songs by the artists themselves. Like that Land of Honey by Solange and Flying Lotus might be my number one favorite Solange song at this point, and I love her music. So I would love to see more of the experimental producers collab with our classic acts to pull that experimental edge out of them that they may not be able to find on their own. Because that shit is gold every time.
I'm sorry, sister. I don't know what the fuck is going on. I'm sorry. This app is really being mad glitchy for me. I'm so sorry, y'all. Um, but no, I agree, sister. I do. I think it just takes a lot of intention. I think that's the big word, like intention. Like one thing I would say from the artists I grew up on, because like I said, I still view superstardom in my head, and I have to admit it, I still view superstardom in my head as the superstars I grew up on. So Beyonce, Usher, Justin Timberlake, Christina, Britney, like Janet, like I still view superstardom in that kind of way. And I think the one thing they all had was intention in their work, intention in what they were doing, whether it was having fun, whether it was doing something artistic, paying homage, whatever. There was always an intention behind it and an effort to want to be great. And I feel like niggas don't want to be great. I feel like a lot of what we're hearing is just, I want to have a hit. I want to be seen. I want to break records. And it's a lot of artists from the 80s that broke records and we're not speaking their names. So outside of the obvious, like the Michaels and the Princes and stuff, but like, there were a lot of big artists in the 80s outside of just the black ones that we always mention, and Madonna, you know what I'm saying, that broke records and did big numbers, and we're not talking about them. So I think I feel like we have a good amount of artists that I know when we do retrospects on the decade we'll be able to speak on. But I just want to know firmly, like, who the fuck at the end of what the end is at 2030, or I guess at the beginning of 2030, who are the ones, or 2029, who the ones we gonna say, all right, they were the superstars that defined this decade? Because I know who I could say for the 2000s. I even know who I could say for the 2010s. I really don't know who we're gonna say. We're almost halfway through the year. Next year will be 2025. We got who the superstar? It gotta be one. We halfway in the decade. We ain't got no superstars.
Can we also circle back to? I think Will was making a point, but we didn't let him finish.
Oh my god, I'm so sorry, Will. I'm so sorry because I
Nah,
was getting
yo, you're good.
sorry.
Nah, you're
Sorry.
good. Go. Nah, you finish your point, Key. Go ahead.
No, that was my like question. Like I was leading into that, but no, say what you have to say, and then we can always come back to my question because I'm gonna remember it. But yes,
No worries, man. Nah, I was just kind of echoing what Milan was saying before, about, and it kind of bleeds into what you're saying, but with music, and again, like I said, I'm just a youngin here. I don't really know nothing other than what I know, but for stuff to last forever, people got to be like willing to die for it. Like it's got to be something that you would do if you didn't make a cent. Like anything that lasts comes from that place, and it's not anything. Not trying to cast an aspersion or talk bad about anybody else, but I think y'all already were saying it's a cash grab. And so with the experimentation and stuff, people got to be really like not afraid to lose their jobs and not afraid to just go and be all into what they believe in. Like that fear got to be killed. But yeah.
I think to that point, it also the onus is also on like the execs on the back end. If we really want to see legacies be built in today's era, like we have to have those execs who are not afraid to take a risk on what they're supporting, um, and be able to say no to the C-suite. Like this not gonna work. We gonna do this instead because this artist has something special, and that's what we need to lean into. On top of the artists like really standing on their shit and experimenting and really being intentional about the music that they're putting out. I think it's a twofold thing.
I agree, and I really feel. Can y'all hear
yeah.
me? I don't know if I'm blue or not.
We can hear you.
Okay, but yeah, just to like off your point too, it really has to be like a sweep, like a federal sweep in the industry. Like everybody gotta get the fuck up out of there. That's old, decrepit, that don't know nothing. Because a lot of motherfuckers is sitting in them seats making these fucking decisions, and it's trickling down like a fucking assembly line, and then it gets to the artist, and it depends on who they planning on signing. And I really feel we need to get all these old gray-haired motherfuckers up out these seats, because these niggas don't know culture, they don't know what's really moving, all they know is money. And yes, we can agree and say music business is partial money, but it's not all money. It had to start with the creative and the heart first. So I do agree, niggas are not willing to die for this shit. Niggas are willing to get some money from it and do whatever it takes to make said money, but niggas are not willing to do what it takes to really be different and separate themselves apart from the pack. And I think that trickles down to the big wigs that is up in these labels. I'm talking about the owners of the big three. Cause them niggas is the ones that have to say so and say, okay, we're gonna give you the budget for this. No, we're not gonna give you the budget for that. So until we could really get these motherfuckers out the paint and artists getting back to true artistry, we could really have some conversations. But it's a big fucking job that we got to do a whole sweep of the industry and get these niggas up out of here. Because there's people that lost their job in this industry that honestly, they did not deserve to lose their job. They should be right there with a Julie Greenwald and a fucking all these other heavyweights that's been in these positions for 20 fucking plus years. Shit that worked in 1990, my nigga, I'm sorry. It's not working anymore. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. But guess what, motherfucker? We got a couple of leaks and now we got a whole flood. So we got to change the venue. Time to renovate. Hello.
And I think to your point, sis, like I think
Go ahead.
outside of like, wait, can y'all hear me? Or is Elon glitching again? Okay. I think also because I think outside of it just being the old heads too, I think it's a lot of like people that aren't too far from us in age. Like, granted, I don't think they're in our age. They're definitely probably like 40s, 50s, but not too far removed from us. But I think it's some of them too. I think it also like comes down to like, yeah, it goes down to the budgets and things like that. But I think, and maybe I could just be like speaking from a wrong place, but like I think if I'm in a position where I know I have enough pull to really do something. This goes back to like that whole thing about power and influence and how much you can really conflate that when you're working in the industry. But like, if I know I'm in a certain type of position or whatever the case may be, then I'm going to try to do whatever I can on the ground to really like build my artist into being somebody that I can really stand behind and be like, yeah, they're one of those ones. Like, we heard Victoria and her manager talk about how like there was a case file and it was hidden, and she just took it and grabbed it and was like, no, I'm going to go on the ground with you and we're going to figure this shit out step by step together. I think that's the other part too. It's the ones that aren't necessarily the old heads, but the ones that are a little bit older than us. They don't want to do that shit no more. They don't want to walk with you into your radio interview. They don't want to sit down and actually talk you through. They don't want to. Like, they kind of leave it on everyone else. They have their big title. They take credit when they get ran in Billboard as under R&B and hip hop executive of the year, and then they keep it moving. And like, that's the other crucial part too. It's like, you have like, it's those middlemen that it's like you also have the power to be like, well, if they won't give us the funding to do this, then how can we utilize the connections and network that we have to elevate what we have? Because a lot of time also too, if you're building some shit on your own and that shit blows, that might make the label say, well, then we need to invest more. Like, I don't know, maybe that's just me thinking.
That was my point. That was my point, Key, because I feel like until someone or a collective of wealthy black people create a label that is completely independent of all of the major labels, not partnered with such and such, not partnered with the, actually independent and does well, that's the only thing that's going to force these big wigs to change some shit up when they see that. Because right now it's like, okay, independent artists, they get money on their own, but they're not really in competition with the other artists that's on these labels. There's no incentive for the big wigs to change anything because artists are still hungry to sign straight to them, right? I feel like we have enough, we've accumulated enough wealth in our community to actually position ourselves with independent labels and still be in the industry but competing against the big wigs. And until we do that, this shit is finito.
So Tony, I'm gonna let you go, and then I do have a question for our distinguished panel.
Oh, damn! I was about to answer your other joint where you talking about like who are the superstars now, but far as like the I guess label type situation, I think we're kind of in the middle ground right now because they 86 like a good 1/3. We got the big three, but they just kicked off a good 1/3. The younger people coming in, they're more focused on internet activities, whereas the older people I feel like are disconnected and still doing old guerrilla marketing tactics, and you don't really got a middle ground no more. So as he was talking about, like there need to be people that's willing to die for it. Ain't nobody about to die for it. Everybody playing a corporate game right now, so it is what it is.
I would say to
That's
that point, that's kind of like when you asked the question a while back, how like what path would I want my artists to pursue as far as like which label? I personally feel like the space that the industry is in right now, your best bet is to literally build your shit up independently until you have enough leverage so that once you get to a major label, you are moving with your own motion with their money behind it rather than looking to them to kind of dictate what you do and the way your career is going to go. It's like, no, I built my motion this way. This is what I'm doing. If you want to fund it, cool. If not, I'm going to another label that will.
so. I guess my next question would be, because I think when we were talking earlier about the labels, I was saying how I thought a lot of people would choose TDE as the label or management company for their artists. I wasn't sure. I'm not sure how true I was about that. But it seems like TDE just across the board has like this really big respect amongst artists and the industry. Why do you guys feel that way? Like, why do you guys feel like when people think of like artists that really, I mean, labels that really focus on building up legends or young icons, people instantly go to TDE and not one of the big three or one of the subsidiaries under the big three?
Let's go C's, Will, and then Tony.
Yeah, I think that that's just because TDE does a really, really good job on like selecting artists that are artists at the core. You know, like when you think of their roster, it's really people who stand out from others, are catalysts kind of in their genre. But then when it gets really down to the core of it, are true artists with like something to say or a narrative that needs to be shared. From the Doechis to the SZAs to Isaiah Rashad, and then you know like Kendrick, their whole roster, I think the core of it is really just artists, not really about reach or fame, whatever they're doing on social media, but just pure artists. I think that they would sign somebody who didn't have a huge social media following if they thought that the art was there. I think that's what sets them apart.
I love Catalyst and their genre. That was a great soundbite.
No, yeah, 1,000%, bro. Because that's exactly it. I mean, there ain't really too much else to say past that. Like even animals can tell when their food is not real. And so when you start putting a whole lot of folks that are just products instead of artistry, the artists are gonna stand out every time. But yeah.
I think they just did a good job at staying together. Like J Rock was the lead at one point, then they pivoted and Kendrick took lead, but like they all stuck together and made shit happen. They stuck to their sound. They didn't really fold, and they brought up other artists. Like they helped usher in a Janae and a Sir and mad other artists that have been around for a minute. They helped usher in all these new people. At the same time, I felt like if other labels like a LVRN or of a Dreamville or even like ASAP Mob stuck together more, were more prominent in the industry, you will see the same thing because we do want to see black labels win. Like even in Nigeria, like Maven before they sold to I want to say UMG, like they were the big independent black label with Rima and Aristar and all that good stuff. But like now they kind of even sold out. So I feel like we always want to see those black labels win. They just got to hang in there long enough and not sell out, you know.
Tori, you wanted to say something?
Yeah, I think TDE's integrity is crystal clear, and it's like when it comes to a lot of these other labels, what do y'all even stand for?
Thousand
And I
percent.
feel like collectively they're on code, right? They have a culture behind them. They all know the mission. They all know the mission statement, and they abide by that. They don't just go rogue. And we kind of have a good understanding of their balance between hood shit and intellect. And that's what we actually want as a community, even if we do play into the nonsense because it's fun. But it's like the quality, the integrity, the mission statement is clear, and you can't really go against that if you're a real nigga.
I think to that point too, even though I didn't really like the way the whole thing with Reason played out, like I feel like that could have been a private conversation. I think the fact that we saw that play out and heard what was said, it is just more of a testament to what type time they on. So it's like this is whether it's behind closed doors or in front of an audience, this is the type shit they on. So it's like if that's not what y'all are about, you're just not gonna fit in with that label, and they're likely not gonna sign you.
Not for nothing, I think QC was kind of like the same way in that sense too. Before they also like kind of gave away some of their stuff, but like QC was a down south more rap version. If TD is hip hop, like they're more rap, southern rap, and they ushered in mad artists too that put mad people on. So I want to say QC is very similar to a TDE, but just in a different genre, pushing a different sound.
Yeah, but I also think like I mean not TDE, I'm sorry. I think QC is also like part of their downfall was also just I forgot who said it, but just the loyalty and camaraderie and having a code. Like I feel like with TDE there's a real culture behind it. There's a real movement behind it. It feels like this is some real tangible shit. Like you can tell these niggas really sit down and talk about music or talk about art or talk about life or talk about like you can really tell like, oh yeah, them niggas really do that. Whereas QC seemed very like fragmented, but hey, if we all need to be here, we're here. But there always felt like a business push, and not saying that TDE also doesn't have that, but TDE just it just feels more organic. It feels more like now we really all live by the same code, and it's not like we auditioned. It's just we align with niggas that are on the same timers. Um, but yeah, I would say to my last question is just like, can anybody name one person that they think is a superstar in our decade so far?
I'm gonna say Doja Cat.
Big Doja, Big Doja. I'm gonna say SZA.
I was literally gonna say her next.
I'm gonna throw Lil Nas in there.
Really?
I don't agree with that.
Yeah, I don't either. But I respect it. Anybody else got a person they can name as a superstar of this decade so far? So from 2020 to where we at? Because we halfway through the decade, which I can't believe is crazy. But
We'll say Summer Walker.
really,
I feel like she lacks on certain aspects, and but in terms of how people really just connect to her music, I would definitely have to say Summer Walker.
I think she's a domestic superstar. I don't think she's global, in my opinion.
Very fair, very fair, very fair.
um, damn, ain't nobody say Tyler. That's crazy. I thought that
She
she's
too new. She too new. I wouldn't give it to her yet.
Tyler the Creator.
Oh, Tyler. My fault. I'm sorry.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, I agree. Tyler's
It's
too new, but
it's interesting.
Tyler
Like,
definitely.
So, all right. So with Tyler, the creator, right? Are we like, what's the parameter around, I guess, the new superstars? Because even like SZA, Tyler, the creator, and all those other people, and Doja, they're like early mid 2000, like they've been around for mad long, and we're midway through this decade now. So like, where do we start it? Is my question now.
I count stardom like real like powerhouse stardom at like when you really break like into the mainstream. Like when you really become like household name-ish. Like Michael Jackson was always a star, but I think we can argue that when Thriller dropped, it completely changed the stratosphere of his fame. Like
That's the only reason
Doja
why
been
I don't agree with
around.
Nas. I don't think he has broken that stratosphere yet, personally.
Little Nas X or Nas
Yeah,
the rapper?
Lil Nas X.
Oh Lord.
That's why I was asking how far back are we going? Because again, like those guys, like Doja Cat and SZA and all, they've been around for mad long. Like
Well, you're
Lil,
gonna be in the industry for a minute. Like I would hope you don't pop up overnight as a star. I want to see my star become a superstar. That's the whole reason of the groundwork. I want to see you. Victoria Monet been outside, and she's just getting to the level that she's getting at.
oh, for sure. I just meant people like that started dropping music in like 2020 going forward, the new superstars versus people that have been around developing, you know.
So I'm just gonna put my. Can y'all hear me? All right.
Yeah, we get you.
I'm gonna just put my ticket in the pot. Yeah, call it what you want. I'm gonna say my sis Dochi. She's the next superstar. You know why? Because she can rap her fucking ass off. Her pen is only getting better. Okay. She can also sing. Give her some more vocal lessons and classes, baby. Listen, she can hit all types of fucking notes. Not to mention a supreme performer. I'm talking about performing for an hour plus on stage already, not even playing all new music. Like she relates to so many different pockets. She relates to the girls, she relates to the gays. She's even in her rap bag where she relates to the guys. She can make a radio hit, she can make some real rap shit. She to me embodies what I believe a future superstar truly is, and is a reason why Miss Beyonce herself wanted her to open up for her show. So I'll leave that at that.
I agree. I agree 100%. When she was been dropping her recent stuff, I was like, okay, finally a rap girl that I feel naturally inclined to support versus them just being put into my face and me kind of liking their stuff over time. Like a Doja Cat for me personally is not my favorite. And sometimes I know this is probably hypocritical of me, but sometimes I relate the fame to the budget, right? It's like, well, of course she can do that because she has the biggest budget. You know? And so then when I say stuff like, well, I don't really consider her a rapper, although she does rap and although she, I identify that she uses rap in her music, I haven't really heard her on a gritty ass rap beat because to me, being a rapper, it's not just rapping. It's the type of beat you use, the way you approach it, and everything. It's like if I go to a photo shoot and the stylist don't show up and I just put a fit together and it's amazing, I don't get to call myself a stylist just because I was able to do the job in that moment. It's like it's a whole thing that goes into being a rapper. So for me, though she definitely has proven she can fucking rap. She can sing better than I realized at first. Her performance is great. So in the next 10 years, I'm really excited to see what happens with that artist.
Oh, Tori, I'm so happy you said that because it made me go back to my point earlier about mentioning how I feel like some of these artists, these superstars that we know are superstars right now, they're kind of like overqualified, but it's like they don't have the budget. But imagine if they had the budget. Like, I think we would really see a
Exactly.
lot more of these younger artists have the momentum or maintain the momentum that we know they could have. But it's a big budget thing. I was talking to a SVP at Def Jam who's like a mentor for me, who's on this like run with LL Cool J right now. And she is struggling with getting him to understand, like, this is not the same. We don't have They come in sometimes expecting to have these huge budgets like they had in like the 90s and early 2000s, and it's not there. So it's like you kind of have to reverse engineer a lot of different things, and I think that's what's happening with the Doechis, the Lola Brooks and Leon Tom. They almost have to reverse engineer this whole thing in order to get what people in the past were just getting, because we know they're great, right? Like they're great, but it's almost as if like they are not even getting their credit or just due because there's not a budget there, and that's not fair. But it doesn't discredit
And
the talent.
And I would agree with that. Just me myself being a part of her very first headlining tour where it's literally just her. Like a lot of people don't understand what goes behind the logistics and behind the scenes for doing a tour. A lot of artists, they don't even make money from them tours, to be completely honest,
Fact.
because it is a networking promoting kind of thing. Like you're spending money and investing into yourself to connect to a broader fan base. And the point of the budget truly being beneficial, I'm here to say it really would be super beneficial. I mean, we're making it do with what we have because the talent supersedes anything. It could literally just be her, a fucking mic, and me on that stage, and we still gonna give you a high level stadium performance regardless. But it's to say, if there were certain budgets in the backing of it, like how they give budgets to certain artists that don't even have a fucking pinky toe full of talent, you will be surprised at what an artist can do. But I will say it does give you the true testament of true artistry. How can you make this work with nothing? And I think that also contributes to the growth of an artist where we do see them from the little smaller hole in the wall venues to the stadiums. You get what I'm saying? So it's like, yeah, we've seen a lot of artists from that ground up to the point where they are now, like a Usher to where he is now. You know what I'm saying? So anything of that caliber, I do agree the budgets would help, but at the same time, I'm always okay with the groundwork being done first because I do believe a lot of artists have been given budgets and they have not even completed the steps that it takes to even get those budgets, if we're going to be completely honest. So let's stop wasting the fucking capital money and let's start putting it into the artists that really do deserve it. I'm not saying any artist is above any artist, but what I'm saying is, yeah, the budget does matter.
No, facts. Like, like, let's be honest. Like, Ice Spice ain't got to get the whole capital budget. Sorry, I'm saying it. Like, split it up.
But you know what I think? I think they get so excited. Like I really do. I think some like, because again we had this conversation, Milan said it, the old heads, you got the people that's slightly older than us, where they think that we want, or the public wants, a specific type of thing because this is what's getting the clicks, this is what's going viral, this is the moment. So they end up signing these artists, and then when these artists can't sell, or when these artists ain't hitting those numbers no more because it's a brand new girl on the block. Because, like, I forgot who said it earlier, but even an animal know when meat is fake. Like, we'll digest something for the moment, but when some real shit comes around, or some quality shit come around, we're going to dive into that. And then to have Kendrick come along and completely change the narrative of the year, and now everybody's like, well, that ain't real shit. Like, niggas really having that, oh, let's talk about real hip-hop conversation again. So yeah, I think when you have moments like that, it kind of affects like what we get and shit like that when it come to the budgets, because then they don't realize they done gave all of this money to, like, no shade, but like, you gave all of this money to what, like, a
For a
TikToker?
temporary fix. That's what it
Like,
is. The
it's like
industry has become
drugs.
a temporary, yes, it's a temporary fix, a temporary high. It feels good, but guess what? Eventually you're going to come down and you're going to do what again? Try and find another hit to get that same high. But what we've learned, I mean, I've never taken crack, for the record. Let me not say what we've learned here. Um what we do know about that is that they say when you take your first hit, you always are trying to chase that very first high. And unfortunately, the artists that are being signed only give you that very first high. We don't have artists that are giving you continuous highs every time you get that hit from them in that regard. So, like I said before, I think it is a mixture and a combination of the old school method of actual artists having to be talented to be signed, instead of, hey, you got a 7-second TikTok that's going viral because it got 8.2 million views and you got 100,000 million followers. Like, the numbers on social media do not equate to the numbers of bodies that's purchasing these tickets. Also, stop being confused with festival stages and actual performance stages, because an artist looks amazing on a festival stage, but if you ask them to book their own shows and do their own shit, that's not fucking happening all the time. So we got to get back to the old school, the real quality control.
Sister Malak, can y'all hear me?
I can hear you. I think Milan cut out.
Oh, my sister Elon, you will pay for your crimes.
It's about to be time to wrap anyway, though.
He
But
was
I will
spitting.
say, to kind of tie this back to what Will was saying, I think the legacy acts are gonna come from the artists who, just kind of considering everything y'all have said, the artists who are willing to build from the ground up, understanding that the industry is not in your favor right now. And you are gonna have to build your own leverage. And if you're not willing to, then this probably isn't the path for you. And to be honest, I'm not mad at that understanding, kind of getting some of these niggas out the paint, because it's like some of this shit is just, it's in the way and it's not good. So it's like, if you can't afford to make it work and you don't care to keep pushing, even though you can't necessarily afford to have the big stage and the big venue or whatever, then cool, maybe you should just not pursue artistry, because it's just, it's, you're not really that serious about it, and we don't need any more of that, in my opinion.
What's that?
Agreed.
Period. All right, guys, I think this was a great conversation. I think it definitely opened my eyes to the way, I always felt like I need to change my view of a superstar. Like, now, because we're in the digital era and people don't sell, and I need to change what a superstar can be. And it's like, no, I think we should maintain our standards. Granted, we should make them realistic, but like, I think we should challenge these labels, especially with everything going on, to really dig in the crates, bitch. Um, but yeah, great convo. Thank you to everyone who gave us your build a star. We will give you your bear, because this was technically a trip to build a bear. So we will send
You are so funny.
we will send you your superstar bear in the mail. Yes, you will be taxed for the clothing. So it's $50 just for the bear. And then with clothes and accessories attached, it is an additional $50. Plus press rollout and marketing advice, which is an additional $75. Plus bear insurance, which is an additional $110. So we look forward to our invoices. Once again, always thank you for coming through the condo. We had fun on the field trip. Please remember to tip the bus driver on your way out because we did not finish the other half of the payment. Um, leave the weed. Take everything else with you. Make sure you take the nasty ass sandwiches they gave y'all and everything. Make sure you're following the distinguished hosts, Jan, Milan, Jazz, myself. Make sure you're following the Reasonable Dialogue page. Um, Again, always look out for the page to see what we got going on. Tap into our community. We're gonna start doing more music shit. And yeah, crispy chicken for 3. Wait, crispy chicken, 3 cheeses, French dressing, wrapped
We
up
clearly
in
see an example of
love,
an artist who needs to not produce music
crispy
anymore.
flour, tortilla, crispy chicken.